We be live! Hi everyone.
We are live. We'll be live. That's what you do with Susanna.
So you should do what Susanna does. You should say hello.
Susanna does this as well.
Then she's like, hello.
Yeah,
like that.
No, I've seen some of her thumbnails. Like.
She waits a couple. She goes like this, and she waits a couple of seconds, and then she goes hello.
There's a tilt of the head as well.
Yeah.
All right, so hang on. So this is going to be quite exciting. Like, I mean, I've been dying to do this for like. I remember you came to the Sunday Scoop a couple of months ago, maybe a month ago. I was in England at that time, but no, wherever I was, and then the questions were rolling in, and because there were three of us, and that's why we all wanted to have an input, and then all of a sudden, one particular tiny question would turn into a 20-minute video clip from all three of us. So that's why, thank you. Voluntarily, you said, okay, you should go, otherwise it will become a 6-hour stream. But having said that, ever since then, though, I was like, you know what? I need to talk. We need to do this more regularly. And here we are. We're doing this, and I've been thinking, and I've always said it because you are such a, like. By the way, I call him a chronic rationalizer. Those of you who haven't met him privately or personally, like if you float any idea in front of him, he's like. He would try to get into it. He would try to, and sometimes way too much that it might be a joke and he doesn't get it. Oh, hey man, that was a joke. No, he's like, no, but why did you say that? Whether that makes sense or not. So I think it's going to be very interesting. I always wanted to do it ever since then.
So for people who are on the Secular Jihadists channel watching this, so Harry Sultan is now a co-host on this channel. So this is exciting. We're going to be doing this indefinitely. So this is not just like a one-time guest thingy. This is like, we're going forward. We're doing this. This is like, I'm so excited. I really can't think of really anybody in the ex-Muslim community. Let me think of that many people that I enjoy going back and forth with, especially because we also have disagreements, but it's so much like fun to disagree with you. Because if anybody can, I haven't seen that many people, like the other people who I respect, we tend to agree on things, right? But I don't see that many people who I disagree with, but challenge me, right? But you challenge me, so I really appreciate that.
All right. Okay. Yeah. Well, I'm always shaking when I'm disagreeing with you. I'm like, I'm gonna say something. What if he finds a loophole in that, and then he's just not gonna let it go? Then I'll have to just change my opinion, which is fine. It's fine, but it's just, but it's fine. But it's just because we do everything out there in the open. Like, remember that what was that thing that when I just MBS one. So that was like, like it was a major screw up. And this is what I was telling you, because you are you're very good with this, where it may not seem like it, but I know that for a fact that whatever view you're floating out, you've thought about it very, very, very deeply. Where sometimes, because I'm most of the times I'm winging these news stories, and sometimes like I'm just in that moment I might think about it. Like, for example, with the MBS story, I just didn't think about all the other things. I was just like, oh, I got carried away with that particular story at that very point. But then like that was the cause for embarrassment. But that's okay.
Well, I mean, the way I look at it is, I try to look at it, is that instead of looking at it as an embarrassment if somebody proves you wrong, is that it's actually disappointing if you are the right one, okay? Because if you are the wrong one, if I am the wrong one, for example, then I learned something new. I mean, I know it's cliche and cheesy to say that, but technically the most interesting times, like, if somebody defeats you in an argument, that should be exciting. Like, I know, like, emotionally it's hard to get over the fact that, oh, in front of everybody I was wrong and that person was right. But technically, like, you expanded your horizon, which is good. So I don't know.
I don't have that problem with that. Like, for example, when I came with you and when I talked about it, initially I think I was defending my position, but then I knew with each passing sentence, I knew it was becoming indefensible for me. So I wasn't like, oh, like who got me? Like maybe if your own ally gets you or highlights a flaw in your argument, I actually didn't feel. But I would like to be like, if we're keeping score, I would like to be like, oh yeah, I've got one up on it. It's just healthy. It's not like. By the way, like for example, I think you couldn't convince me on whether I should or I shouldn't try to get Ali Dawah cancelled from hearing this university. So I think I held pretty strong.
Okay, cool.
I had a pretty strong argument in that case, so I still stand by that. I know that it is a bit of a slippery slope when we're talking about cancelling. I understand that, but anyway, I think we'll be talking about so many things where we can disagree.
Let's get back to that. Let's get back at some point if you're interested. But right now, do you want to do? Okay, guys, we're answering Patreon questions, super chat questions. So whatever channel you're watching this on, you can use super chats. And I got Patreon questions on my Patreon, but Harris didn't get any Patreon questions. So you guys should become patrons on Harris Sultan's channel on Patreon. Link is in his channel's description.
It's going down in there.
Yes, going down. And for next week, send us both questions, okay? Not just me. Send some, like on Secular Jihadists Patreon. Put some questions there, and then Harris Sultan's Patreon, put some questions there. So we answer questions from both Patreon accounts, okay? So let's go through. Do you want to go through this first? Do you want to say anything else, or should we go through and look at some of these?
No, I think, just bring it up. All
right. First Patreon question by Gusale. Gusale is asking, I would love to hear Armin and Harris discuss the similarities and differences in the contemporary expressions of Islamism in Pakistan and Iran. What socio-historical contexts give rise to these differences? I mean, I don't know, because for somebody to be able to compare these two, you have to know both of them. But I know Iran very well, and Harris knows Pakistan very well. How do you think we can compare these? How do you
maybe you should talk about Iran? Yeah, I know, but it's like I guess if I understand it correctly, it's basically saying similarities and differences in the contemporary expression of Islamism. So, the major difference obviously is the Shia and Sunni, and the other one is like they're both Islam. So the way Shiaism, how Iran has gone about the business dealing with Islam is a Shia version, and Pakistan is not really fully Islamic. So Iran is an Islamic republic. Sorry, it is an Islamic state, whereas Pakistan isn't. Pakistanis don't claim. Pakistani government does not, even though they call it Islamic Republic of Pakistan, but it's not an Islamic. It's not a theocracy. So they go about their business a bit differently than, I don't know. Like, I mean, how can
So based on what you're saying, one difference is that it seems like in Iran, the government is more religious than the people, and in Pakistan, the people seem to be more religious than the government.
Exactly. Yeah.
And also the trend seems to be in Iran, the trend seems to be moving away from religion at a very fast rate. Not only away from religion, but towards hatred of religion. What about in Pakistan? Are people becoming more or less religious?
Yeah, in Pakistan, there you go. Pakistan people are definitely becoming more Muslim, more Islamic.
Really?
Yeah. You would find this classic Pakistani way of looking into Islam, where there are these elites or higher upper middle class, etc., where they like to say that this is Islam. Sorry, that they have the rosy picture of Islam, and they would bring up Allah, mashallah, or Allah, Islam is there for until the Judgment Day, and Allah specially gave us this, gifted us this country, blah blah blah. But in their private lives, you don't see any Islam. So they'll be doing, but that's that's the elite, or even the middle class. They would go about their business. Like, for example, entertainment dramas with the movies and dramas, and that they are still very popular, which are the religious people keep on telling Pakistani youth and Pakistanis that, hey, this is un-Islamic, don't do it, but they don't care, they don't listen. So clerics, so social media, this is actually an interesting parallel. Up until I would say until the advent of social media, Pakistanis would not see anything Islamic like the tilawat of the Quran or anything Islamic. Just at 3 o'clock, I'm talking about the 90s and before that. At 3 o'clock, they would say a Qari would sit down and he would just for 5 minutes he would recite something from the Quran, and in the morning we'll have a nasheed, and that's it. That was our exposure to Islam on TV. But now, because we've got a YouTube account, so these clerics in Pakistan have enormous success. They're next to popular celebrities. Their views go in millions. But at the same time, these TV serials, these TV dramas and movies on YouTube, etc., they also attract the highest ratings. So it's a bit of a conundrum because the government allows that, and that's why people still aren't connected to it. So there are no calls for. Look, there are some calls, but it doesn't look like that the government of Pakistan is ever going to, shut down these TV serials that are discussing, male-female romance and people having affairs and that kind of stuff. So I can't imagine that kind of storyline being featured on Iran state TV and being allowed.
So being able to, that's the difference between the governments, right? So even though Iranian people are less religious, because the government is more religious and government controls the media, even though people demand that kind of like liberal kind of shows where the government doesn't allow it. But here's an interesting connection between Iran and Pakistan. The rise of Islamism in Pakistan is because of Iran. Did you know that?
Not really. I don't think so. I think we blame Saudi Arabia, because if that was because of it, well, I'm assuming whichever way you're going. So you're probably going. So Pakistani Shias, they always look towards Iran. They always do. So you could argue, and I'm thinking this is where you're going to go. You could argue that because there was more Islamism, Wahhabi Islam by Saudi Arabia, therefore Iran kind of matched it as well in the Shia community. Is that where you're going?
No, I'm not talking about the Shias in Pakistan. I'm specifically talking about the Sunnis in Pakistan. Okay. So the rise of Sunni Wahhabism in Pakistan is because of the rise of Shia Islam in Iran.
Okay, how so?
Because after the 1979 Islamic Revolution in Iran, Iran started exporting as they put it, exporting the revolution outside of Iranians' borders. Okay, it was in response to this move by the Iranian regime that Saudi Arabia started investing in madrasas everywhere outside of Saudi Arabia and the spread of Wahhabism. Okay, in Indonesia and Malaysia, and especially in Pakistan, in Egypt, and everywhere else. And this rise of exporting of Wahhabism is what led to Al-Qaeda and ISIS and everything. But this was a direct response to Iranians' proxy building outside of its borders, that Saudi Arabia did this.
Yeah, I'm not sure if I'm convinced of that, because definitely not in the case of Pakistan. We've never heard of this. The classic narrative is that because of the Afghan jihad, they started exporting jihadi, Salafi version of Islam in madrasas, because that's where most of the recruitments were going to come from. So that's when and when the jihad was won against the Soviets, and then there were so many people there, and they had already built this basic infrastructure, and they said, well, why don't we just keep on pumping this money, and then we get our own version of Islam in Pakistan, and as a result, Pakistan will have this huge army to ourselves. Like, it's just a classic case of influence.
That happened at 1979, right after the Islamic Revolution in Iran inspired the Wahhabis in Saudi Arabia to do an attempted coup against the House of Saud. Right, the House of Wahhab raised because the House of the Wahhabis and the Saudis, they were in a political marriage since the beginning. Right, you know that, right? And the Saudis represent the monarchy and the money. The Wahhabis represent the religion, right? And there's actually a literal marriage, not just a political marriage. There was actually the families married into each other. But ever since the Americans started making deals with the Saudis, the House of Saud thought that they don't need the Wahhabis anymore, and they became more and more westernized, right? Until 1979, when, because of the revolution in Iran, which was Muslims around the world were encouraged to stand up against pro-American monarchs. So the Wahhabis in Saudi Arabia saw that, and they took over. They attacked the Kaaba, the siege of Kaaba, right? And the Saudi, they managed to kill them and everything, but they were terrified. And right after that attack, they changed the rules. So they made so if you look at Saudi Arabia before 1979, it was becoming very Western. Like if you look at the reporters, female reporters everywhere, lots of makeup, no hijab, McDonald's everywhere, like a lot of Westernized things. But it was that attack and also advertisement of Iran into the borders of Saudi Arabia that encouraged them to go full Sharia on everyone's ass and basically start. If you actually look at the number of madrasas that the Saudis were building that existed outside of Saudi Arabia, right after 1979, it like goes up like a hockey stick. I mean, before 1979 in Pakistan, if you ask most people what's the difference between Shia and a Sunni, they wouldn't be able to tell you. But now they hate the Shias. This tension between Shias and Sunnis was because of all this Wahhabi ideology that was spreading in Pakistan out of Saudi Arabia in response to Iran. By the way, this is not my claim. No. This is like what experts are. This is documented.
I don't know. I'm not convinced by whatever outline you've given me, because there's another key event in 1979. That was Soviet tanks rolling into Afghanistan. That's what happened in 79. Yeah. And that is the traditional narrative that's what happened. The US got involved. They said, okay, we'll give you these weapons. You give us your petrodollars, and Pakistan will give you these young cannon fodder, basically, to fight against the Soviets. So that is another key event that happened in 1979. And again, as I said, that has remained the most popular and well-believed explanation.
That doesn't contradict what I'm saying, because if you
it doesn't contradict, but it doesn't. But it doesn't answer that either. Yeah,
I know, but the reason, like, they used the Afghanistan war and to go into Afghanistan and Pakistan and other reasons, because they wanted to be around Iran's borders with their dogs. Do you know what I mean? Like, Iran was coming with its own Shia proxies around Saudi Arabia's borders. Saudi Arabia was looking for excuses to have its proxies around Iranian borders.
Look, as I said, they might have had multiple objectives to invest money in Pakistan, but then they were doing that in other countries as well. They were doing that in Turkey. They were doing that in
Indonesia, Malaysia.
Yeah, but there were no borders.
Actually, that's a very good point, because if after 1979 it started picking up everywhere, not just in Afghanistan and
but immediately
Pakistan.
But one could argue that why Pakistan allowed it in, that would have been because they said, okay, let the money come in, and because Pakistan genuinely thought that this idea was sold to Pakistan, the Soviet Union wants to come to the warm waters of the Arabian Sea, Karachi and all Afghanistan, because Afghanistan was landlocked. So that's the idea that was sold, and then later on in declassified documents that they said, well, when the Soviet Union collapsed, they said, well, they had no intentions of coming into Pakistan. So Pakistan just got involved for no reason. And they messed it up. But anyway, so I don't know. Like, I mean, that could have been one of the objectives, but I'm not sure if I'm fully convinced. But as I said, like, it could be. Like, when you invest money, that much money into something, you don't just go with one objective. You have multiple objectives too. So yeah.
Well, I mean, the siege of Kaaba seems to have been the trigger. Okay, maybe you're not convinced. Okay, and the siege of Kaaba was inspired by the anti-monarchy revolution in Iran. So because they're like, we took out one monarchy that is pro-American. Why not? Why Muslims were like, we can do the same thing? Yeah. All right. Okay, here's an interesting one. What do you think about this? Please discuss the many conspiracy theories involving Queen Elizabeth, the English monarchy, / the English monarchy in Iran, and how many believe there is British involvement in the Islamic Republic of Iran. Are there any similar conspiracies involving the Queen in Pakistan?
Not that I know of. The most popular conspiracy theory regarding the Queen is that she was behind Diana's murder. That's the only one. And even when the Queen died,
What about that she's a descendant of Muhammad? Do they say that in Pakistan?
It's actually not that popular. I've only seen and heard it on Twitter coming from non-Pakistani sources. It's actually not that popular, but maybe But they don't really like the Queen. I mean, even when the Queen died, they were basically, they were trending Diana for some reason. They were making memes that she's waiting up there with a stick in her hand. That, hey, now so, they were making these kind of jokes about it.
But the Queen could, I mean, the Snopes has rated it plausible that she is a descendant of Muhammad. I mean, it's not that
impossible.
It's not that impossible. I mean, they screwed a lot of people.
It's so possible,
yeah.
So I might have some Genghis Khan DNA in me.
I heard 1 in every 8 person in the world has.
In the world or in Southeast Asia, I've heard.
The world, 1 out of
really? 8. Oh yeah. So there you go. Yeah, but Prophet Muhammad didn't bang as much, even though he banged a lot, but not as much as Genghis Khan.
Well, you don't have to bang a lot of people. True. One of your descendants could be banging.
Exactly. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Exactly. So obviously these guys were kings after Muhammad in his lineage. So yeah, of course they would. Muhammad instantly became royalty. Yeah. So like his descendants were kings, or like whether you go with Umayyad or whatever, they would have had some sort of a blood relationship. So obviously, kings and queens married within each other. So. And I think they go back to some Arab woman getting married to some Spanish king or something, and obviously that's how they infiltrated the European bloodline, royal bloodline. It's possible, but not only just that, it's actually been possible through other means as well. Like even if that part isn't true, it's still. I actually don't understand that. I think Dawkins tweeted about it. And he said that you can watch the second version of second volume of the Ancestor's Tale. I've only read the first one, so I don't know if someone can explain that to me.
This is, by the way, this conspiracy is BS because the British had a major influence in the Islamic Republic of Iran coming into power, like the toppling of the Shah and the success of the Islamic Revolution. The British were very involved in that. However, the Queen, the monarchy in general, was not involved in that. So this is like they want to tie it to the monarchy because there's this. This is actually true. Okay, traditionally the Shia Imams love the monarchy. Okay, so this idea of like the Shia mullahs being anti-monarchy, Khomeini started this. And people think it has always been the same thing. It hasn't been. Even early on in Khomeini's revolution, he argued that there has to be a monarch. But the mullahs get their authority from the monarch, and the monarch gets authority from the mullahs. Like it was like a mutual relationship between the two, right? Win-win. But so this is so they thought, a lot of people think that the Shia mullahs, given that they lost a king, they kind of like hung on to the British queen. I'm like, oh, be our queen. There is actually Shirazi. Did you know there's a sect in Shia Islam called like their Shirazi Imams that they actually
Shirazis. Yeah.
Shirazi, they pledge like they really like the queen because they want a monarch. They just like anybody with a crown, please.
So hang on. So they want a mullah king. They want
no.
mullah.
No, they're the mullahs, and they want to serve a king or a queen.
Oh, so no, but who did they say that? Who should be the king then? That mullahs will serve.
I mean, the queen seemed to be the best alternative, given that they don't have a Muslim king. She's a descendant of Muhammad, so they were like, we don't have any other king.
No way.
Yeah.
No way.
Seriously, yes. Seriously.
They would have hated it. Just because there might be a link to Muhammad, we're happy to take this white woman as our queen.
Also because they live in UK.
Oh, right. Oh, okay then. Okay. Oh, yeah. Okay. I've seen a lot of brown dissies being, head over heels over the queen, which is fine. Nuria was actually quite upset with me because I was saying, yes, so I was a bit sad. I was like, oh, she did well. By the way, have you seen these embarrassing videos of King Charles has already started coming. He's getting upset at his staff, like, oh, why don't you clean this table? And this one and his pen was leaking, and it's like, oh, I bloody hate this. So it's only been a week, but now you can think about it that but now you can think about it that the Queen did it for 70 plus years, so she maintained this personality, or like she never had a meltdown. She really kept it cool. It's not that easy, man. It's actually not that easy.
I mean,
look at us. Look at us. We go off sometimes, we're just ordinary people. But I'm just saying,
literally the easiest job in the world, though. I mean,
it's not the easiest. No, you wouldn't. No, man. You'd be like, no. First of all, in your youth, you would have said something. You would have been angrier. You would have told off some people. Yeah, fair enough. Social media wasn't that. There was no social media.
Okay, but that's not that. I mean, sure. Okay, let's say I get annoyed with a few little things and I get angry with people. That is not a hard life. Getting angry a couple of times is not a hard life.
No, I'm not saying it's hard. No, it does become hard because she hasn't. So okay, so she hasn't known poverty or going to bed hungry. Yeah. Okay, so we get it, and we know that people don't worry about what's going on beneath them. People always worry about what they don't have. No, but people always worry. No, people always worry about what they can't do or what they don't have. Now, she didn't have a lot of things. She didn't have her privacy. She didn't, a lot of people say her husband was cheating on her. But there's a common rumors and whatever. But she could never actually say anything about it. She never did. Who knows? She might have just swallowed it. Maybe she would have known. Yeah, but she never let it say. So these things
okay, we can't judge by the things we don't know. Okay, you're like, oh, who knows? Yeah, maybe she was.
No. I'm not saying not who knows. I mean, there are credible rumors about it. So,
well, I mean, honestly, even other people go through cheating husbands as well. Okay, relatively, she had the easiest job, one of the easiest jobs in the world, and one of the most useless jobs in the world. Her job doesn't serve.
They're useless, but not easy. No, you got to put yourself in those shoes, man. It ain't that easy. I get it. Like we all would say, okay, you know what? Make me the king. I would never do.
I don't want to be a king. I don't want to be a king. Okay, so but I
king
don't
of the
think
world?
that means. I don't think his job. No. What, are you serious? King of Iran?
Shirazis will worship you.
I would be assassinated.
No, we'll get some Western bodyguards who have nothing to do with Islam. In fact, those ones who actually hate Islam.
And all my loved ones and every single my family. No, I don't. It's not.
No, they'll have to. They'll frisk them. They'll check them before they appear in your court. Your Majesty.
No. Sounds stressful. But honestly, the Queen, I don't feel. I mean, she's
sad.
No, why would I feel sad?
You don't feel sad? Why do you feel sad? She's a cute old woman, she just died.
Why would I feel sad?
Because she died.
People die all the time.
Yeah, but you don't not feel sad if you find out about that someone just died.
I mean, I was actually I was sad because of my feed was half about the Queen, and I was like, God damn it, get this off my feed. Okay, that's the only reason why I got sad. But why would I be sad over a person that I have no emotional investment in dying?
So you're saying that if you know of someone and they die, you don't feel sad only for a tiny bit? Like if George Clooney died tomorrow, would you be like, oh, you would you or
No.
you wouldn't?
No.
Brad Pitt?
No. Brad Pitt, maybe, but not because I feel anything for him. Maybe because I'm like, oh, less movies. Because I think Brad Pitt movies are good. So I'm
J-Lo?
like, I would be,
Johnny Depp?
I would be sad about the movies that I'm not going to see, not about that person individually. I don't think.
Man, you're cold.
No, I'm being honest. Like,
you're cold.
So many.
I can understand if you hate someone. Like, let's just say if you hate
them. But why would I be sad?
I can understand. No, I'm saying I can understand if you hate someone that you don't feel anything, or maybe you have a little cheeky laugh about it. Ha ha, gotcha.
No, I wouldn't laugh. No, I'm not happy that they die.
No. I'm talking about someone bad. I'm like someone you really, really hate. Like if Khamenei died tomorrow, you'd be like, okay, that's fine. But I'm saying like someone.
I wouldn't. No. If somebody I hate die, I wouldn't be happy about it because it's not like they're feeling anything for them to be like suffering or anything like that. So
yeah, but you're allowed to be happy.
I'm allowed to be happy, but I wouldn't be happy about that. Maybe if they tripped over and fell or something and like haha. But if they died,
actually, that's more sadistic because that you're seeing them in pain. So I never laugh when I see people trip. I'm like, oh. I always screw up my face, but but if you were around in 1945 and that guy had died, had you just read, wouldn't you have been like, oh, Hank? Now,
okay,
so many other people won't die.
Okay, if somebody is continuing to cause harm and their death stops that harm, then I would be like, oh, thank you, please.
No, but right? So you'll be happy.
Yes. If somebody is causing harm, okay, yeah, no. If somebody's causing harm,
so that's why I said Khamenei.
Oh yeah, for sure. No, but it wouldn't be. I wouldn't feel. I would just be happy for that harm to stop. Okay, but if I hate somebody and I will like want to be happy for something that happened to them, death wouldn't be the thing that I would get happy over them because death you don't feel that when you're dead you're not feeling anything. So
you're feeling it. No, but you're feeling it.
Yeah. Okay.
You're feeling it. See, this is what I'm saying. Like this guy's chronic rationalizer, like I mean, I'm pretty sure for a lot of people it might be making sense.
Okay,
it's a human behavior. It's a human behavior. It's okay. You see a bad man die, you find it's okay.
I didn't say it's not okay. I'm happy.
It's okay to laugh at that too, or be happy about that.
Yeah, I would be happy about that.
Okay, good. Okay.
But because of the harm that will stop. Here's the thing. Okay, you want me to end this as a good news? Okay, if you die, I would be very, very sad. Okay.
No, because I know that because you could. Yeah, I know that because you know me personally. I'm saying, but I'm saying like celebrities. But not the Queen. But yeah, no, but I'm not convinced. I think there's something more to it. There's you harbor some other kind of feelings about it because I'm saying that celebrities, we think we know celebrities, yeah. We think we know them because we've seen different emotions. We've heard about their life going ups and downs of their lives. So we know that. So that's why we go like, oh, Britney Spears shaved her head off. Oh, why is she doing that? Like we can feel that.
Actually,
so that's why you do something bad.
No. Britney Spears, I'm genuinely interested in Britney Spears being happy. Okay, ever since she came out as an atheist. Did you know that?
Yeah, I heard about it. Yeah.
Okay, so now I am.
So if you found out. So if you found out the Queen was an atheist and she was actually spending a lot of money, then you would have been sad, yeah?
Yes.
So there you go. So you have to have something in it. So yeah, you're very cold. I'll move on.
Okay. Wait, there was something about the Queen, a story about the Queen that I heard, and I kind of like her because of that. Okay. But again, still doesn't make me. She died peacefully. Okay, how about this? I'm not cold. Okay.
Poor her. Yeah. So sorry. The Queen. Can you come back and die miserably?
No. No, you don't understand what I'm saying.
I get it. I was making a joke.
No. Let me show you that I'm not that as cold as you think. Okay. If the Queen had died a miserable, painful death, I would be sad about that. Okay.
Okay.
But mere death is not that tragic. Okay. Mere death is not that tragic unless you're close to that person. People die all the time. A painful death is tragic. Death itself is not that tragic. I just don't think it's that big of a loss.
Whoa, I don't know where you. How did you come up with that?
Normal. It's just like people dying out as we're speaking.
Yeah, people. Yeah, but if you find out about it, if you see that person just died, you hear about it in your neighborhood. You didn't know about him, but you see the pain in the survivor's eyes, and then their children. Okay. They're like, oh, my mother died. So then you feel sad.
Okay, yes. If I see a loved one of the Queen, if I see a video,
you haven't seen Prince Charles.
I haven't seen him sad. Have you seen
him sad? He had glassy eyes. The poor guy was.
I didn't see it. I didn't see it. If I see a loved one of the dead person sad, I would feel sympathy for that loved one. Okay, good. Is that good? I'm not that cold.
Yeah, but I know. Yeah, I know. Yeah. I know. So but those things are understood. Like even if I hadn't seen, like I would just.
Yeah, but I haven't.
These people.
Okay, but I'm not. But I'm not thinking. I'm not bothered to think about like the poor loved ones of the person.
You need to be warm-hearted for it. Like the Queen died, so you'd think that she's got kids, grandkids, couple of dogs. They'll be alone. They'll be lonely now. Oh, poor granny. That's just like a normal, kind of thing. But I think you probably. I reckon you did not like the monarchy. You don't like the English monarchy. You don't like the family.
Okay, I don't like.
You're against the idea. You're against the idea.
I'm against the idea, but I don't hold the Queen responsible for that. I don't hold the Queen responsible for it. It wasn't her fault that the monarchy sucks.
Yeah, but she took advantage of it.
Let me tell you about a cute story about the Queen. Okay, even though I don't care about her dying, I like her a little bit because this story was kind of cute. Okay, there was this lady that had a wedding. Okay, and just as a joke, she sent an invitation to the Queen. Okay, and she showed up. I was so beautiful. She showed up just to make them happy, and they were so shocked they couldn't believe the Queen showed up to their wedding. She just showed up because she got the invitation. She didn't. She just sent it as just like a.
There's so many other funny stories. This guy, her bodyguard, was telling the story on TV, and they said that there was one American couple. They were just walking through somewhere in Scotland or something, and then I don't know. So anyway, so this American couple goes and. The Queen was walking around, maybe with her entourage, but maybe they didn't notice or something. So anyway, so this woman goes, "Oh, I've heard the Queen is in the city or something," and she's like, "Yeah, I should let you know when I see her." But she actually said that to the Queen. So people are like, "Oh, okay." Queen was so humble, she made a joke about it.
Okay.
I think she's. Anyway, I'm sad.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, you'll be okay.
I was talking to Nuria. I was like, oh, I heard on TV that there's going to be 14-day mourning or something. I was like, wow, okay, you guys are going to get 14 days off. And then she said, no, we're not even going to get a single day off. I was like, they didn't even give it. I mean, they didn't give her anything. Like, it's just. She ruled you for 70 years. Come on, at least give a day.
Yeah, that's weird. Okay, no. If monarchy is not good for that, then what the whole that was the last chance for monarchy being good for something. But monarchy sucks. Do you agree with that? Monarchy sucks balls.
Yeah, of course. But but British monarchies. Come on, it's just ceremonial.
Yeah, but still sucks. Even the ceremonial version. All right. This story is, I don't know if you heard the story. I can bring up an article and read it. So next question. Gusala is asking, please discuss this man that did Umrah on behalf of Queen Elizabeth. Is doing Umrah to send someone else's soul to paradise something that is actually Islamically accepted? For example, I know that Mormons have what is this? After they baptize you after
posthumously
baptize Anne Frank, therefore co-opting her multiple times, and this is seen as legitimate within their faith. Needless to say, this was not received well. Yeah, so can you do that? Can you do Umrah for somebody who's? Yeah, you can do Umrah for somebody's dead, but do they have to be Muslim? They're technically not. No. Wait, there's nothing in Umrah says that. Does it literally say in Sharia, in Islam?
You can't. There's a principle. There's a logical principle in place. I'm trying to find the Quranic verse. Which one was it? Was it chapter 9 something?
Let me actually bring the story.
So you can't even pray to a non-Muslim. You can't even say to God that, oh God, please bless them. You can't even say rest in peace. You can't even say that, let alone doing an umrah on their behalf. You can't do that, man. It's not allowed. Don't you know the whole story of Prophet Muhammad when he actually tried to say, when he tried to pray for his mother, and then his companion said, "Hey, why are you praying for your mother? She died as a kafir." So Muhammad was like, "Oh yes, sorry, I can't pray for my own mother."
Is that Sahih Hadith or just Riwayat?
It's in the Quran, man. Oh, really? the mother story is in the exegesis. It's a Sahih Hadith, but the actual Quranic verse, there's a whole meaning behind it. We actually discussed that on Sunday.
Let's actually explain this for people who don't understand what we're talking about. So it says in Saudi Arabia, a man arrested after Mecca pilgrimage for Queen. So Umrah is kind of like the Hajj, but like on
a mini version, smaller version.
Oh, we got actually a couple of super chats that we need to answer as well. We will answer the super chats. I'm starting them right now. Okay, so I will answer them. So we have Hajj, which is like a specific day of the Islamic calendar that you go to the Kaaba, you go to Mecca and do the circles around it. But Umrah is kind of like Hajj, but not on a specific day. You could do whenever you can do it whenever you want it. It's much less significant, less busy, but also it has, you get brownie points from Allah, but not as big of the Hajj one. The Hajj one is kind of mandatory if you're able, right? So this person, so you could do this pilgrimage or Umrah to Mecca. You could do it on behalf of dead people. You could do it for dead people. For example, you could do it for your dead parents, your dead brother, anybody who's dead, right? So this dude did it for the Queen, and he got arrested. Why would he get arrested? Is that against the law?
Yeah, because she's not a Muslim.
But like, but is there anything in Saudi law that says that?
There must be, because as I said, you can't even say rest in peace. You can't pray for.
Yeah, but not everything that is un-Islamic is against the law. Even in Saudi Arabia, there's some limitations on what's against the law. No.
Maybe not in this case, because they can actually make it up as they go along. So here's this Quranic verse. Yeah, have a look at this one. Surely you know about this one. So it is not for the Prophet and those who have believed to ask forgiveness for the polytheists, but that is usually taken as for everyone, even if they were relatives after it has become clear to them that they are companions of hellfire. So this is a reason why you can't pray, you can't wish well for any of the non-Muslims. So there is the exegesis as well. So let me show you that.
Okay, but that's polytheist. The Queen was not a polytheist.
Yeah, no. But as I said, like with the ijtihad, it includes everyone, every non-Muslim.
Who said that? Okay, that's just. I'm gonna put my Muslim hat on and say that's just the opinion of some scholars. That's not Quran. You're just making. Whose ijtihad is that? I don't recognize this person's ijtihad. I don't recognize this mujtahid.
You look. I mean, then I would say, well, you're just a lipstick Muslim. You know, like you want to make it.
Lipstick Muslim is a person who believes in the Quran and takes the Quran seriously, but not mujtahid. Lipstick Muslim is a person that doesn't take mujtahid seriously. I have to take every goddamn mujtahid seriously for me to be a serious Muslim.
The one who just wants to interpret the Quran in his own way. You know, like there's a whole story.
I'm not interpreting it my own way. It literally says the polytheist. It literally just says a polytheist. I'm not.
But there's a story you can't deny. The hadith, this Sahih hadith, this hadith is recorded in two Sahihs. Ibn Jarir recorded that Sulaiman said that his father said, when the Prophet came to Makkah, he went to a grave, sat next to it, started talking, and then stood up with tears in his eyes. We said, "Oh, Allah's messenger, we saw what you did." Now he's obviously sitting by the grave of his mother. I asked my Lord for permission to visit the grave of my mother, and he gave me permission. I asked for his permission to invoke him for forgiveness for her, Muhammad's mom. but he did not give me permission, the evil Allah. He said, we never saw him more tearful than on that day. So this is a Sahih Hadith.
Okay, but
she wasn't a polytheist. They say she wasn't a polytheist. So there you go.
How do you know? No, how do you know? Even in the exegesis, it doesn't say that she wasn't a polytheist. The Quranic verse is referring to polytheists, and this was had this like just adding to that Quranic verse. So basically, she must have been a polytheist. It was normal back then at her time to be a polytheist. So this does not say that she was not a polytheist. So your point does not.
It's not my point, man. I made the same point on my Sunday Scoop last week. I said the same point. I said it's polytheist. It doesn't say, but through ijtihad, they've included all non-Muslims.
Where's ijtihad? Based on what hadith?
Well, I don't know about that. I don't care.
Okay,
about
so
that.
it's just mujtahiding. It's mujtahid ijtihading.
No, but you asked me a question. You asked me a question. Why did they do it? So I'm saying that's why they did it.
Okay, but it's not. So this could maybe but there is bold clap. It's not based on. This is not Islamic. Let's actually read. Maybe it tells us why they did it. Saudi authorities have arrested a man who claimed to have traveled to the Muslim holy city of Mecca to perform an Umrah pilgrimage on behalf of Queen Elizabeth II. The man, a Yemeni national, published a video clip of himself on social media on Monday at the Grand Mosque in Mecca, Islam's holiest site where non-Muslims are forbidden. In the clip, he held up a banner saying, Umrah for the soul of Queen Elizabeth II. We ask God to accept her in heaven and among the righteous. The footage was circulated widely on Saudi social media, with Twitter users calling for the man's arrest. Saudi Arabia forbids pilgrimage to Mecca from carrying banners or chanting slogans. Oh, so see, this is the reason. Okay, so they're like, so the reason is like you can't carry any banners and you can't chant slogans. It's not because it was doing Umrah for the Queen. Well, see, while it is acceptable to perform Umrah on behalf of deceased Muslims, this does not apply
this does not apply to non-Muslims like the Queen, eh?
Okay, but let's see why. Is that the reason why they did that? Who was
Supreme Governor? Go to Saudi Arabia and argue with them. We'll send you flowers.
Okay, carrying the banner, violating the regulations and instruction for Oh, yeah, you're right. Look at this. Security forces at the Grand Mosque arrested a resident of Yemeni nationality who appeared in a video clip carrying a banner inside the Grand Mosque, violating the regulations and instructions for Umrah. They don't see which regulations, said a statement carried by the state media late on Monday. So if you hold a sign and say, I love Muhammad, would they arrest you as well? Because no signs allowed? Like, hey, I love Muhammad on the sign. Would they arrest you for that?
Yeah, possibly.
He was arrested?
If they say that. Yeah, I mean, if they say that, yeah. I mean, who wants to try it?
I would love to try it.
Yeah, right.
No, I'd be arrested for holding a sign that says, I love Muhammad. Like, would I get like...
They'd be like, no, but because we have a policy that you can't hold signs or placards, but so we were attracted to you because of your stupidity. But now we know who you are and what you've done. Okay. Chop, square, off you go.
Okay, by the way, did you know that actually you can't even do this for a Muslim? Like the guy wants the Queen Elizabeth to go to heaven by doing an Umrah for her, okay? But you can't do this even for Muslims. Like, how do you translate sawab in English? Like brownie points for good deeds, right?
Oh, sawab. Yeah, it's like, I think they call it virtue. Yeah, well.
The sawab is like the bonus points.
The credits, so the credits. It's basically credit. So Islam works on a credit system, credit score. Yeah.
So you do good things, you get positive credits. You do minus things, you get negative. It's the opposite. So sawab is the opposite of sin, right? So you do bad things, sin. Sawab is the positive version of that. Okay. Yeah. So, when you die, all your sins and sawabs stop except 3. Did you know that? Like after you die. Yeah, there's three types of stuff. Like after you die, it keeps adding to your points or taking away from your points, even after you die. Yeah. Right. So the money that you spend, So if you spend money on charity,
it's called sadaqah jariyah. It's called
Yes.
Sadaqah Jariyah. Yes.
Yes,
Sadaqah
Jariyah.
Jariyah.
Yes. Sawab Jariyah. All right.
Sawab Jariyah.
Sawab Jariyah means like you die and you spend money on good things, and even after your death, is still doing good things to people.
Yeah.
Like let's say you build a mosque, right?
Or let's say you planted a tree.
And somebody is under the shade of that tree. After you dead, you're still getting sawab. Or you build a mosque, and after you're dead, people are praying in that mosque. Even though you're dead, you're still adding to your point. Even though you're not living and doing good things. So spending money. Spreading of knowledge. So let's say, for example, when we die, because our videos are causing harm, even after we're dead, it's still being added to our sins, right? But like Daniel Hayreju, even after, because his videos will still live after he dies, his videos will continue adding to his sawab even after his death. So it's spreading knowledge, right?
So
that's the second thing. And the third thing is your children praying for you, your good children praying for you, pious children praying for you, right?
Yeah.
So none of these three includes umrah, right? So if you do an umrah for somebody, it's not going to add to their sawab. So you're basically wasting your time. You might as well just pray for them. If you're the son of a dead person, you would have been benefiting them more if you prayed for them instead of doing an umrah for them. I think that's how it works.
Yeah, but Islam is not really that strong when it comes to logic. So with a tree, the tree is basically helping someone takes refuge in the shade and the blistering heat or whatever. So you don't have to do anything. You just did something. And now, since that thing is actually helping other God's creatures out. So if you have kids, I know if that kid is praying for you, does a Quran Qurani, or read the Quran for you, does a Surah Yasin or whatever, then fair enough, you get some credit for it. But what if your kid is just doing good things because you brought him to the world? But I'm saying that logic should apply, because the tree is just doing that tree is doing good things. So that is incumbent on the tree's good action. So
it applies if he's doing good thing because of the knowledge you gave him, or because of money you spent on his school and education. So it has to be in the form of money you spent that is doing good things, or the knowledge that you spread that is doing good thing. So if your kid is doing good thing because of the information you gave him, then it goes to you. But if he's doing it on his own and it has nothing to do with you,
but the tree is doing it on its own.
Yeah, but you planted it, okay? But with the intention,
I brought my kid to this world.
The tree. So I don't know. It has to be in the form of like money or resources. I don't know. You're right. The tree doesn't apply actually. I don't know.
No, but tree does apply. I've heard of it. People say that all the time. They say, "Oh yeah, just plant a tree at least," because every person is going to take advantage of the shade. Yeah, you'll keep getting the swab, the social credits.
I have to check my source. Yeah, right. I have to check my source. By the way, we shouldn't be ignoring the super chat. So we got one super chat here, by He's678 by saying, Armin and Harris, glad to see this show coming to fruition. Shall we now start the incest debate we left incomplete on the dinner table? Kidding. Oh wait, who are you?
So this guy, I met him in where were we in Germany? Where was the city?
Berlin.
No. Just recently.
Oh, Cologne,
yeah. So when we were in Cologne, so after my talk, I was hijacked by this guy and another guy, and they took me to this Turkish kebab house. And there he told me, he said, Harith, most of the time I agree with you, but on the incest thing, I agree with Armin. So I was like, yeah. So remember you and I, we had this conversation on incest a while ago?
We can't discuss it here because YouTube is actually very sensitive about this.
Yeah, and I'm sick and tired of discussing that with you. Because that one I am right, because I've actually, I do think that I've given a very logically consistent answer, but I don't want to shake it off. Like I know there's a point when it starts getting, when it starts falling apart. So I don't want to go there.
Okay. So basically, I'm right. You just
no. I don't think you're right, but I think the solution, the line of reasoning that I use up until that point, is perfectly logically consistent. But I have a counter answer to that, and I don't want the world to know that, because it hasn't been brought up yet. But if somebody brings it up, then I'll be like, "Yep, sorry, my argument it's going to get. I'm going to have to add another nuanced point on that, which will weaken my argument." So up until that point, I'll be like, until someone comes up with it, then fine, I'll deal with it.
Okay, you have to tell me what it is after. Okay.
No.
So we got the Afro-Humanist just gave us a super sticker. Thank you so much. The Afro-Humanist, that sounds like a YouTube channel. Is this a YouTube channel? People need
yeah. She's Nuria had a chat with the Afro-Humanist. She's wonderful. She's let me you look it up. Yeah.
Oh yeah, it is a YouTube channel. I just
she's brilliant.
Okay.
Oh, by the way,
guys, check this out. The Afro-Humanist. I just subscribed. Go subscribe to the Afro-Humanist. And also North mythology is. By the way, I never asked. Is this North mythology? North mythology. Is this? Are you a YouTube channel as well?
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
I see.
North mythology.
North is my my moderator.
Thank you for the $10 super chat. That's generous. Appreciate that.
Good.
Cool. Let me see.
Oh, by the way, I don't know how you feel about this, but I'll get to this. Oh, sorry. Yeah, let's just Afro-Humanist. I think she does amazing work. I think guys, please follow her. She does a lot of work from African perspective.
We need that.
This is one of those parts when like it usually gets ignored, so it shouldn't be. And another one like Malaysia and Indonesia, they get ignored as well. I actually got a message from a subscriber, and she said she sent me some Malaysian news stories, which are actually quite interesting. I was like, how the hell did we all miss them? Because we just miss them. Malaysia is a totally different ballgame.
Indonesia is the biggest Islamic country in the world.
Yeah, I know, but we just don't talk about it. It's just so bad because I think we need our representatives there. So, anyways, I've spoken to this lady and I said, I promise I'll talk. I'll bring them up every news story that you're going to send me. So some of these news stories are like they're quite amazing. You know what I say? So Pakistan is already there where Iran and Afghanistan were 30 years ago. Yeah, so. Pakistan is like it's only a matter of time when it's going to implode. It's going to become a totally Islamic country. TLP is going to come to power. It is possible. Okay, I'm not fully making a prediction yet because Pakistan is full of surprises, or they might just keep it going the way they've been going for the last 75 years. But there is a strong likelihood that Pakistan may get this Islamic government. But Malaysia is there where Pakistan was 20 years ago. So it's a very liberal country. The non-Muslims in Malaysia are okay, but now they are starting to speak out because so there's a lot happening in Malaysia as well, and I think we're going to talk about it. So this lady sent me a couple of news stories that I'm going to talk about on the Sunday Scoop. Because actually, maybe we can probably talk about it now. No, probably not.
I would actually be very interested in watching your videos on that. By the way, Sina, thank you for the $10 super chat. Sina is saying, loving your dynamic with the $10 super chat. Thank you. That's very generous.
Thank you, Sina. Sina.
I also want to mention about Africa because we had the African humanists just highlight. Africa is going to become a lot more important than it is right now in the very short future because like a lot of the planet is getting old, right? And Africa is not. Africa is having like the percentage of its young is very high relative to other people, and that trend is going to continue. And basically, at some point in the world, the percentage of the working people, like the working taxpayers, are the African portion of that is going to be very significant, right? So Africa is going to become a major powerhouse when it comes to the world economy because it's going to have that labor force that the whole world is going to be losing because they're getting older and older, and it's going to have to come out of Africa. So it's going to become very significant, especially Nigeria, by the which is really sad that Nigeria is being its justice system is being destroyed by religion right now because it's a very important country. Yeah. What do you want to show here? Can I bring this up?
Yeah.
No. What do you wanted to show?
Okay. So, moving on to our next one, where we go.
You wanna?
There's a So I don't know how you feel about this, but like we deal with Indians and Pakistanis a lot. So there's two types. So actually, you've been a victim to these radical Hindus. So we gave him a special nickname because obviously not all Hindus are the same. So most Hindus, I would say, are decent people, and not all Hindutva is bad either. But there are people who are just bad. By bad, I mean, I'm actually thinking about creating a proper checklist, because a lot of people come and say, well, Haris bhai, am I a tunni? So there's a word, we coined a word, tunni. Tunni basically means, in Urdu, tun means being drunk on something, being high on something. So radical Hindus have certain checkpoints. Like they would say, okay, they would always give bigoted statements towards Muslims or anyone who doesn't agree with them. They would always have a civilizational dogma. They would be like, oh, our ancestors, sorry, I can do that, you can't. So that's fine, chill. So our ancestors they invented the internet and the MRI machine, and we went to the space, moon, and back. Those are the kind of people. And then they would tell you, hey, look, the US has secured patents on cow urine. Cow urine will cure cancer, and cow poop will cure this and that. Actually, oh yeah, they sit on TV. They say, like, if you want to make a nuclear bunker, then have a then put a coat with about 6 inches deep. Put a coat of cow dung on your walls, and that would keep you safe from radioactive, from a nuclear bomb, etc., whatever.
Did they actually say that? Or is this
yeah, man. It's all on national TV. We've got it all. We've seen it. If you think something really stupid came out of my mouth, and you might think that Haris is just exaggerating or making, don't. The chances are that would have definitely have come out of some radical Hindu's mouth. So those people, we call them tunnis, yeah? So we popularized that term, and a lot of people actually use that term now. But to our surprise, it has actually made it to it's actually made it to the Urban Dictionary. I'm trying to find that. Let me show you that. Why does my Firefox not show? Okay, there it is. Okay, let me show you this. This is hilarious, and it's upsetting a lot of people for some reason.
Shiki is in live chat is saying Hinduism is worse than Hindutva any day.
I don't know that. I can't say that. Hinduism has a lot going for itself, so there's a lot.
I agree, actually. I agree. Hinduism is worse.
Yeah, maybe, possibly. But look at this. So this word, Tundi, is basically from Sanatani Hindi, a Hindu with bigoted views towards non-Hindus, especially towards Muslims and Christians, and probably add atheists as well. Also referred to as Bhakt, this is not our word, and Hindutvadi or Hindutva. So I don't agree with this Hindutva, because obviously not all Hindutva are like that. So there's some very genuinely intellectually honest people that could fall under Hindutva category. So it's a bit more complicated. It's multi-layered, multi-characteristical.
Isn't the Bhaktis just the people who just are loyal to Shiva or Vishnu?
Not just that. So they could be loyal to Modi as well. They could be loyal to Yogi as well, the guy who's the CM at UP. Bhakt means just loyal and dedicated. So they could be loyal and dedicated to everyone. So yeah.
But doesn't it mostly refer to people who are loyal to Shiva or Vishnu?
Mostly. Yeah, no, not necessarily. There could be some Bhakts who are Bhakts to the opposite of Shiva, whichever is the opposite of Shiva, whatever deity is. So yeah, so that Bhakt means devotee, the oxymoron is like. So yeah, so it just basically means a devotee. But there's certain characteristics that are common characteristics among certain people. So like so they're Tunnis basically, and I can see some Tunnis here as well. So we call them Tunnis. So it's okay. It's official for you. You can call them Tunnis.
Tunni, I can use this term.
Of course you can. Okay. Some people would say it's a slur, but it ain't. It's a harmless
slang. I don't want
to. No. So see, there you go. They're clever people. So coincidentally, there's a tribe called Tunni in somewhere in Africa, and they're like, you're using that. This is being a slur towards them, but it's not. Tun means, as I said, being drunk. So it's a harmless term that's been coined. So it's not, and because it rhymes with Sanatan, their religion. So because it rhymes with that.
Ian just gave you a super chat, $5 Australian. Thank you so much, Ian, for giving.
Ian. Thanks, Ian.
Thank you.
What are you doing up so late? Actually, Tunnis. Yeah, there you go.
Go on.
No. So I don't know, because someone, it's perfectly fine. But anyone who actually knows Urdu and Hindi, they actually understand it's actually a harmless kind of a term. Because I actually give a very strong reason, because I don't want to say, a Hindu did this, because that would include every decent Hindu. And like someone would say, man, I'm a Hindu. I didn't do any of that. I don't think like that. So that's why it's important to coin a special term for these people who don't represent the majority.
Okay, then do you have a term like that for certain kind of Muslims that do?
I call them jihadis.
Jihadis. Okay. So can I ask you about the Bhakti movement? Because there's a hypothesis that says the Bhakti movement, right? But because you're saying now it's loyal devotee to anything, but originally the Bhakti movement was when Hinduism matured to this like devotees of Vishnu and Shiva, and my understanding, which could be wrong, is that this happened during the time that Islam was rising and Islam was being introduced to India as well. And some people argue that Hinduism was influenced by Islam and the Bhakti movement is a product of Islam. What do you think?
It's possible, but I'm only concerned about how it is today. So basically, Modi's blind followers are called Bhakts. RSS people are called Bhakts, and they say, for example, they use a term Deshbhakt for themselves, which means devotee to my country, Mother India, basically. So Bhakt is literally, in literal sense, what it means, regardless of what the etymology might be or what might be the political reason behind it. But in today's context, it means that I am a devotee to this cause or God, deity, or my political ideology or whatever.
Hey, new podcast, Secular Bhaktis, because Secular
Jihadists. Secular Bhaktis. Yeah, that's correct. Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah. Wait, I want to respond to this. I do think Hinduism is. I do think Hinduism is worse than Hindutva. Okay, because in theory, not in practice. In practice, Hindutva is worse than Hinduism. In theory, Hinduism is worse than Hindutva. But not that many people take Hindu scripture very seriously. But if they did, Hindu scripture is worse than Islam, in my opinion. Okay? In effect, Islam is worse than Hinduism because not that many people take Hindu scripture seriously. But Hindu scripture is way worse than Islam. Worse than any scripture I've ever seen. Like it literally, yeah.
Why? Why do you say that?
I mean, the Gita itself gives you the argument for making genocide moral, okay? But not just any form of moral. Like you could get that out of the Bible and the Quran as well. But the Quran and the Bible give you specific instructions for what kind of genocide is okay, right? The Gita makes any genocide okay. Like just makes death as unimportant and inconsequential at all. Like it basically argues that as a warrior, it doesn't even matter which side you're fighting. You have to follow your dharma, okay, and just kill. You could be on the wrong side; it doesn't matter. It's not your place to ask whether you're on the right side. You're a warrior; you kill, and the people you're killing it says that their death is not that important because it's just like they're changing clothes. It says their soul is going from one body to another, so don't think that they're actually dying. And also, don't worry about them dying at all because their death was already predetermined. It argues that. So it just tells you to go stabby on anybody just because it's your dharma. You have to follow your dharma. I have never seen a more disgusting, violent book, that especially a book that people think is associated with peace and love. It actually gives you a recipe for justifying any form of genocide. The Quran and the Bible don't go to that extreme.
Well, Old Testament maybe, but
no, the Old Testament, you have to at least be the enemy of God or something, like for you to be worthy of killing. Like.
By the way, have you actually had a chance to show some? Like some ex-Hindus have actually sent us some screenshots of certain scriptures, from Vedas or from Gita or from Mahabharata or these scriptures. Have you actually seen some of them? Some of them are actually pretty bad. Do you want to see some?
Yeah. So Wait, is it YouTube friendly?
Yeah.
Okay. What are you showing?
Screenshots. So no, just some scriptures basically.
But I like how in the live chat people who disagree with me that the only comeback is you just don't understand the Gita. This is exactly like when the Muslims every time we disagree, like, oh, you just don't understand the Hindus in the live chat who are saying you just don't understand the Gita. You sound exactly like the Muslims that say you just don't understand the Quran.
And
exactly, yeah.
Do you want to see how similar are they? How much more similar they are with Muslims? Wait till they see these screenshots. Look at this one. Oh no, got it wrong. Hang on. Where is? So does that an overlay? Okay, hang on.
Just say screenshots.
Yeah, I'm just doing that. Give me a sec. I'm just adding that. Sorry, I added that as a logo instead of overlay. Give me a sec. I'll just quickly fix it. Okay, so look at this one. This was in chapter 9. This is Bhagavad Gita. Yeah. So what it says, certainly Pratha, son of Pratha, Vrata, whatever, particularly taking shelter, anyone who becomes born of a lower family, i.e. woman, mercantile people, Tata, also Sudra, lower class. Men. So basically this one is the example of lower caste system. So it's O son of Pratha, those who take shelter in me, though they be of lower birth, women, Vesayas, merchants, so merchant class is lower than the highest class, as well as Shudra, workers, even lower, can approach the supreme destination. So
Shudra, worker is actually not a very good translation for Shudras. They're the slave class. They're not the working class.
But they don't look. Yeah.
No, the Shudras, because worker, like a slave, is somebody who is not able to get out of that work. Okay, the Shudras are workers, not by choice. So they're the slave caste. They're not the working class.
Yeah. How about the next one? This is Rig Veda 672:1. If one
sorry. No, let me correct something. Okay. Yes. People are saying it's not lower class, it's lower caste. Caste is a type of class that you cannot change. Yes, but it's more accurately to say caste. But go on.
Yeah. Caste is worse than the class. Yeah.
Caste is the worst type of. Yeah, caste is the worst type of class, a class that you cannot change.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. So if one hears an irresponsible person blaspheme the master and controller of religion, one should block his ears and go away if unable to punish him. Wow. Yeah? But if one is able to kill, then one should by force cut out the blasphemer's tongue and kill the offender. And after that, one should give up his own life. I don't get that last part. After that, one should give up his own life. I don't get that part. But anyway, this is Rig Veda 672. If there are any Tunnis in the chat, they would be saying, they would be saying, what does a Muslim say when you show them a verse like that?
You're taking it out of context. You should read the verse, understand what happened when this verse came down, and like
also the translations too. Sometimes all of that.
The translation is wrong. Yeah, the translation is wrong.
If there are any Hindus there, Tunnis there, the kind of people we say, that's exactly what they would say. There's no blasphemers in it. No, but there are. We haven't translated this. They have translated that. Look at this one. This one. I don't know the scripture because it's written in Hindi now. I say, my dear king, the sons and grandsons, Lord Krishna's children, numbered in tens of millions. So talk about someone having a party, yeah. So by the way, this is corrected. I think this is probably collected by ex-Hindus who have seen Hindus criticizing, making fun of Muhammad for being, for being a playboy kind of person. But then they say, hang on a second, wait, look what your deities are doing. So 16,000 mothers gave.
But that's not even bad. Like I don't know why this is an insult. Krishna was having sex with like women, and like they seemed very satisfied, and he was having sex with all these women at the same. Did you know he was copying himself and having sex with all of them at the same time? I
didn't know that, but my point is from the Muslims' point of, from Hindus' point of view, those who make fun of Muhammad. So they should say, well, so what if he's laying around? Why are you angry with him just because he got around more than you did? So like obviously there's some sort of moral question. We don't know are they being coerced or whatnot. We don't know that. But anyway, that's just that point. This one, some women would definitely like it. This is Rig Veda as well. This is 647. So if she's not willing, he should buy her over. Like if she's not willing, he should buy her over. And if she's still unyielding, meaning, she's saying, no, please don't come anywhere near me, he should strike her with a stick or with the hand and proceed uttering the following mantra: I take away your reputation, and then hit her. She is then actually discredited. So this is Quran 434, Hindu version.
Yeah. And also reputation is everything when it comes to this tribal mentality.
Exactly, the honor.
Yeah. And it's actually worse than so for example, that's actually worse than the Quran. Okay.
Why?
Because the Quran says in Islam, first of all, a woman that doesn't want to have sex with the husband, she just gets cursed by angels, right?
Yes.
So you don't you can't just do that. But also, if you beat your wife in Islam, there are two steps that you have to. Yeah, this is 2 steps. But how many steps do you have here before you start beating your wife?
Well, I think we don't know the preceding verse though. Like it said, if she's not willing, so it means if she's not willing, then it means actually, that is the first step. If she's not willing to,
you buy her.
Yeah, also, you should buy her over. Yeah. That's the first step. Buy her over, give her some money.
And then you hit her. So Islam hits the wife. Islam hits the woman on the 3rd step. Hinduism hits the woman on the 2nd step. So this is worse than Islam. So worse than Islam.
Tunnis! Tunnis are not gonna like it. There is one Tunni I see. Okay. That's Nuria Khan there. So what is she saying, Nuria?
Nuria, it's Nuria. Hi, Nuria. Nuria saying, couldn't you argue that Quran is just as bad because you are commanded to fight the disbelievers, which is effectively every non-Muslim to exist? Yes, but Islam, I'm not saying Islam is good. Obviously, Islam is horrible. But I'm just saying Islam is kill them for this reason, okay? Hinduism tells you don't even need a reason. Just go stabby. You're a warrior. That's what you do. Just go kill. It doesn't matter. They're not going to die anyways.
I don't know.
Yep. No. I did a huge stream on this. Okay.
Really?
I went through this. Yeah, I went through this line by line. I said it seems like it's making that point, and then it clarifies. Okay, oh my God, it's clarifying that's making that point, and then it re-clarifies. It clarifies that every time people are oh, it's not saying that. It clarifies that it's making that point multiple times. I'm not exaggerating. This is the whole point of the Bhagavad Gita. It's insane. It's insane. It's the most insane scripture in all religion.
There you go. See the Muslim version, Muslim style Hindu version. It says, Sultan, go learn and then talk to Nirajatri or Ankur Arya and see you get destroyed. Now you will say, I did, but there you were creamed. Yeah, I was creamed. Go have a look. Your Nirajatri daddy was running away the moment I brought up these the Punna Janams, these different lives. He's like, no, let's not talk about that today. That's what your Neeraj Attari did, son. And oh yeah, so by the way, what is it? Is it just that? Let me guess. Which excuse are you going to go with? Wrong translations? Oh, right. Okay. So I've got some more for you.
No. Here, you're reading it wrong. You're reading it the wrong way. You're just like that's my favorite.
Yeah. So B, he should strike her with a stick. No. But by stick here it means metaphorical. Like just grab a little toothpick, and toothpick is like a stick, isn't it? They don't go to any length. Okay, so look at this one. Which one is this? This is Devananga. Stabby. I gotta look that up. You gotta take the screenshots, man. Like, I mean, I can add that to my Hindu.
I will give you the stream. I will give you the stream that I did on the Gita.
Well, right, okay, but they might say that Gita is not one of the primary scriptures, though.
Okay, so here's the thing. There's two versions of Hinduism, okay? The old Hinduism and the new Hinduism, okay? The old Hinduism is really reliant on the Vedas, okay? But the new Hinduism, they keep saying like the Vedas are the most important text, but nobody takes the Vedas very seriously. In the modern Hinduism, the Gita is the most important text, the most popular one, right? So that's their main, most popular text. But if you actually, some scholars even argue that these are two different things. Like they're not even, the only relationship that modern Hinduism has to the Vedic religion is that the constant giving of credit to the Vedas as like this divine thing. But nobody, like if you read the Vedas, they have cow sacrifice, okay, in the Vedas. Like they sacrifice cows to the gods. So it's like very different from what you consider Hinduism today. Like Vedas, so it's a difference. So in like Shia Islam, right? The Shias say, "Oh, Allah is the most important. Muhammad is the best, most important human." But effectively, Hussein is the most important person for them. So I think like in modern Hinduism, they act like Vedas are the most important. They say that the Vedas are the most important scripture for them, but effectively the Puranas and the Gita.
And even Upanishads as well, because Upanishads also give them a code of conduct. So so they also have some, and I think I've got something coming up from Upanishad. This is not Upanishad, but it says, formerly in Galala translation, oh dear, mountains were endowed with wings. They used to move speedily in all directions like Garuda and the wind god. I don't know why I added this one. There's nothing bad in this one. I think it's just stupid. I think maybe I was trying to draw a comparison with Flying Donkey, because I make fun of flying donkeys. So we've got ODM mountains. So here we have flying mountains.
See, again, this is more ridiculous. At least flying mounts.
Donkey! At least he's a living being. Yeah?
This is more ridiculous. I'm telling you. This is more ridiculous.
And then they say, our ancestors were really smart. No, they were getting high and they were flying freaking mountains, not Vimanas.
Do you have the scripture about Shiva's dick falling off and burning the whole world? Do you have it?
I haven't heard of this.
Oh no, you don't know that. You don't know the
story. Your dick fell off and it burned the whole world. Imagine how hot his dick was. That's one hot dick.
This is the story behind the Shiva Lingam. The whole story behind the Shiva Lingam.
Really? That's where the lingam comes from?
No, Shiva goes and exposes himself to all these women, and some of them like really like it, and some of them are horrified. And Shiva didn't know that the husbands of these wives were like really powerful sages. And the sages come and they're angry that Shiva is showing their dick to these women. So this, this is the literal story. This is Hindu scripture. So the sages, not knowing that this is Shiva, they curse him, and his dick falls off. But because it's Shiva, when his dick hits the floor, it starts burning the whole world. Okay, so
basically punishing them for making his dick fall.
No.
Cursing him, but they didn't know that. But but it doesn't work that way. Yeah, like it's like if you curse someone, they didn't know that it's a Shiva god. But for some whatever reason, their curse was so powerful that his dick fell off. But now that it's fallen off, now you suffer. We're gonna burn the whole planet down. Jeez.
Yeah. So I forgot, guys. Tell me in the live chat which goddess comes to save the day. Okay, I forgot. It was Parvati. I think it was Parvati. Guys, let me know in the live chat.
Woman. Man, you are much more.
But this goddess comes and she either turns into a vagina, so the goddess, okay, or she uses her vagina. I don't know. There's different versions of this story. Okay, and she turns into a vagina and she covers the penis, and the whole world is saved.
How does she cover it?
It was Parvati. It was Parvati.
Okay, how does she cover it?
She becomes a vagina and she covers the penis.
so she sits on a amputated dick.
Yes, and that's how you get the Shiva Lingam. That's where the Shiva Lingam comes.
So she was killing two birds with one stone. She was saving the world and also having some fun.
Yeah.
Man, we're gonna get cancelled.
This is Hindu scripture. I'm not making this
up. So tell me. So is that why that they're like in memory of that horrible event? So hang on a second. They make fun of Muslims and they call them katmulles, meaning like they've got their dicks chopped off. But your central deity had a dick literally chopped off. And is that the reason?
You had a deity turned into a full vagina to cover your penis.
Yeah.
And look, Hindus in the live chat ex-Hindus in the live chat are confirming this. This is why there's also a vagina around the lingam.
I've never seen a vagina around a lingam.
Oh yeah,
I've always seen that big black thing.
The base is a vagina. Okay, let me show you the.
Oh really?
The base is a vagina.
Oh my goodness, man! I never even noticed that. Oh right.
Look, the base is a vagina.
Oh right. I thought that was just a thing to collect milk when they put milk on it.
Yeah. No, that's a vagina.
Oh man. No
see, even Oxymoron, our fellow Hindutvas here are confirming. Yeah, it's there, the base. See, so this is not even something that Hindutva is like denying.
Shouldn't the vagina be the other way around then? Should cover it, or maybe it's just showing us an inside view.
Well, okay, maybe it's maybe upside down, but you have to. The pouring of milk will be difficult if you do it the other way around, right?
Yeah, obviously. So basically they're celebrating that event. They're like, okay, hey Lord Shia, your dick was cut off. Here we are. We're going to pay homage to your dick.
Yes, but the thing is that most Hindus don't know the story. Most Hindus don't even know that this is a dick.
Just like they say no, lingam is not supposed to be a dick. Yeah, no, that's what they keep saying. All right, because I've heard people say lingam doesn't mean dick. Lingam doesn't mean dick. Right, so there you go. What did I promise you at the start? Yeah, that you're going to find more similarities between Muslims and Hindus than you probably ever thought. They use the same excuses about the scriptures and about their own stories. They don't know as much story. They don't know their own stories, just like Muslims don't know their stories. Muslims are still celebrating that. Oh, that old woman who used to throw rubbish at Prophet Muhammad. That shit never happened. People still get surprised when I tell them this shit never happened. They still get surprised. They're like, really? I swear I met this person and he said, I've actually seen the house back in the 80s where that woman used to live and used to throw this rubbish. I was like, there's not a house surviving from 1400 years ago.
Yeah. Wait, Oxymoron in the live chat is saying most Hindus know. Okay, my experience seems to be different. But it seems like because Muslims are not aware of their scripture either. Okay, like you could, it would be fun if you talk to a Muslim. Okay, make up a Quranic verse and be like, it says this in the Quran. How do you defend this? And they will defend it even if it's not a Quranic verse. Okay, so just make up a horrible thing. Okay, and say this is in the Quran. How do you defend this? And they will come up with a defense for it. They're like, no.
Yeah, they are so similar. They just and it's not just Hindus. And I think if you push these Christians against the wall as well, they also come up with the same thing. Oh, you don't understand. You gotta believe first. You gotta have faith. Only then you'll understand. It's the same thing. They have the same borrowed arguments. They're borrowing each other's arguments. And they're just throwing them out there. Because most Hindus,
on the internet are Hindu. Yeah, Hindus that are just Hindu, they don't really take their scripture seriously. Like they don't Hindus take the rituals more seriously than the belief compared to. So for the Christians and Muslims take the belief. So Christians take the belief very seriously, more than rituals, way more than rituals. It's like heavy belief. Okay, Muslims take the belief very seriously, take the rituals very seriously as well. Hindus are heavy on rituals, very little emphasis on belief. Rituals is the main thing.
Yeah, that's good. But the only downside is now that has turned into a political identity, and that's when this is an impending doom. I've been saying it for a while. A lot of other people have said it. I mean, obviously, I've borrowed it from other people as well. But I totally agree with it. There's going to be a genocide. There would be something really bad in India.
I think so, yeah. I mean, I don't know. Are you sure? Like, how sure are you of it?
Well, I mean, as sure as one can be when they actually say out these things. It's the frequency of these videos and this hate-fueled messages that come out now. And again, the other side is not slowing down either. It just slowly you're turning up the heat, and at one point it's just going to reach the boiling point, and then because Muslims are far more, Hindus are far more numerous, and BJP government is getting stronger and stronger. So Muslims are going to be on the losing side.
I think Hindus are going to be also on the losing side because this will hurt India.
No, of course, yeah, but they don't see that. They think they very well learned, educated Hindus. Even they say like, "Oh, India would be better off if there were no Muslims, but they should all go back to Pakistan, or they should go to Pakistan or something. We gave them a country once now." And there are a lot of things that Muslims do to piss them off, but that doesn't mean that you just start rioting, you start making mobs, and then you start harassing Muslims, and it's a mess. It's a mess. I've been saying this, that India, when it was just about to enjoy the wonders of the 21st century, the science and going to Mars and the moon and all that, just when they were about to start enjoying, it's just all going to blow up in their faces, because obviously when these things happen, the world is not going to take you seriously. The world it's not going to remain the same. It just won't. But these tunnis, this is why we say them. I despise the tunnis who actually fuel these sentiments. And they think that they're doing their country a favor. No, they're not.
The only thing that could save this from not happening is capitalism. Okay, because there's too much money involved. There's too much money involved for this chaos to, like, there's too many people with too much interest to let this happen. So I think like that's the only hope. Wait, here's a question. Should I answer? Should we answer another Patreon question?
Yeah.
James is asking, would like to hear you talk about the recent conviction of Twitter employee found spying for Saudi Arabia and the accusation that India has planted their agents within Twitter as well. I know, crazy talk, right? However, entertain the conspiracy theory for me, please. I mean, this is more than just a conspiracy theory. I saw.
It's not that far-fetched either.
No. I mean, I saw like people seriously here. Like, here's a news article saying exactly that. There we go. This is not just a conspiracy theory. Look, Twitter compromised by spies from China and India. Whistleblower tells lawmakers. So I don't know how credible this whistleblower is.
Whistleblower tells. Yeah, so it's a whistleblower. Yeah, and obviously it's from within Twitter. Look, and that's not even that hard. I mean, imagine if you have an IT degree and you just applied for a job at Twitter, even at the base level, like someone, like those people who approve of who approve and delete comments on the basis of reporting. That's not going to be a very high-end job. That could possibly be outsourced to countries like Philippines or some other countries where these kind of jobs do get outsourced to. That wouldn't be that hard. And how many people would be? How many times we see that? Okay, I see a blatant violation of their policies, whether it's Twitter or Facebook or whatever. Like literally, it's blatant violation. Like it black and white, could not get any clearer than that. Like, oh, I'll hunt you down or something. Let's just say if someone says something like that. Even then, you report it and it doesn't get taken down. So then there's only one logical explanation left. That you think that if it's a pro-Muslim comment, then that must be the reason the person looking at the report, the person looking at the complaint, must be a Muslim then, or he must be sympathetic towards the original violator. So that's the only logical explanation, because I have so many of these examples, and sometimes, and that's why you got to keep reporting these comments or tweets. You keep reporting it, and you hope that it might run into. So if he's going to some Muslim dude who's like, good. Then you might hope that you might run into some Hindu guy who would say, oh right, okay, so he's a Muslim doing that, okay, let me block him. So it's not that hard. It's not that difficult to imagine that there would be these people sitting there. And I think David Wood said it. He said these guys are not people. Okay, that obviously it might not be linking to this conspiracy, but a lot of these people are activists. They're not employees. They're activists. Because a lot of that is subjective. Oh, should I find this tweet offensive or not? If it's offensive, I'll delete it. If I don't find it offensive, I'm not going to delete it. So it's not that far-fetched. I totally buy
it. But this is even worse than just like a Twitter employee that might just be.
No, I said that. Yeah, I said that. That was just my last part that I said. But before that, I addressed that.
But yeah, I don't know. Like, if you can get spies in there and Twitter doesn't give a crap, like, this is what I think, okay? Because Twitter was told about this and they ignored it, right? So imagine if they ignore spies, they must be ignoring activist employees.
Oh yeah.
So you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, absolutely. Yeah. The simple logic, yeah.
Like, oh yeah, like look at their attitude, okay? So countries were, for example, he said he had high confidence that India dispatched a spy to monitor the nation's negotiations with the tech company. When he told Twitter executive of a foreign agent inside the foreign agent inside the company, he said the executive's response was, "Well, since we already have one, what does it matter?" Let's keep going off.
This one, that statement literally says here, I know I opened the door for him. that literally says that on his head. Whoa, you're telling me I'm the one who let him in.
Even FBI has been like alerting Twitter, and they haven't been taking it seriously. So imagine how much they take our complaints, how seriously do we take our complaints? Like, hey, we've been banned by mistake.
Shut up.
Like, FBI is telling us we have spies and we ignore them.
Shut it.
Oh, no.
That guy's look is far more serious than Twitter executive reaction to it.
Oh my God! I'm actually this means, by the way, Atheist Republic Twitter account coming back. That means there's zero hope. I have
zero hope. Man, it's been like more than a year now. Yeah, way more than a year. It ain't coming back. I'm like, why do you still have it?
I mean, it's a good opportunity though for us to keep pointing out what happened. It's a good story. Okay, this is go on.
By the way, I wasn't done with my Hindu scripture.
Okay, let's do more Hindu scripture.
No, I think you know what we should do. We should do it next time.
Okay.
Yeah, I think because I think we've done some. We'll do part 2.
Okay, let's do part 2 next time. Okay, cool. But let me just do the last Patreon question. This is like, I don't know if you're interested in this type of question, because I am very much into economics and stuff like that, and Idris is talking about that.
I got a PhD in economics.
What? Yeah, you do? Okay.
I'm joking, obviously.
I know.
Yeah, you were more serious than Twitter executives.
All right, I just say, Armin, I know that supply and demand are forces that push the price of an item towards its equilibrium price. However, since the equilibrium price of a good in the real world is a function of the equilibrium price of other goods, how can you be sure there's going to be no resonance where the capitalist system is unstable and price oscillations feed on each other, making fluctuations even stronger? I think capitalism is immensely superior to communism. However, let me read the rest of the question. I think your question was too long, so I had to shorten it. However, However, I feel you give it too much credit. Okay, no, first of all, but your resonance is a physics terms. You can't just bring physics terms into economics. Okay?
Folk.
Yeah,
I remember that
yeah.
from Newton.
You can't just do that. Okay, it's not going to happen with supply and demand, because these are not things that keep adding to each other. Supply and demand like correct each other. They don't add up to each other. Okay, if you increase the price of something, if you increase the supply of something, the price will decrease. So for the and the demand would increase. And again, if the demand increases, the supply would respond to that increased demand, and we'll get more supply of that. And if you supply of something decreases, okay, therefore demand for it increases, the price will go up, and for demand will go down, and supply will go down. These are obviously all the time self-correcting. There's never a situation where supply goes down and then something happens to the demand, because supply impacts the price impacts the demand, and the effect is always correcting the other way. So when the supply goes down, the effect on price and the effect of the price on demand and the effect of demand on supply will undo the decrease in supply. Same thing with demand. So it's never like, oh, the supply decrease and the effect will decrease it further and further. It's always correcting it to the other direction. So this is not going to happen. And also, when you say capitalism, so there you go. And when you say capitalism is good, but I'm giving it too much credit, I might be, but you have to make maybe you're right, but you have to give me a better argument for me to see your point, right? So if I'm giving capitalism too much credit, make better arguments, and maybe I will see it. Sorry, I don't mean to be too harsh and disrespectful. That's not. Yeah. Okay. Good.
Exactly what he said. Exactly what he said.
Do you consider yourself pro-capitalism?
Well, I'm not an economist, but it seems to be working. I am a big fan of certain socialistic principles, like having universal healthcare, universal education, or at least
I am for those. Okay, I am for those things as well. That's why I say I am for a regulated capitalism. Right?
Yeah.
So we have regulated capitalism, crony capitalism, and laissez-faire capitalism. I am for regulated capitalism.
But I think that there's a bit of a problem with that as well, because it's not that simple. So all these entrepreneurs, why do they go to the US? Because that is absolutely capitalism on steroids. I think this is not your does US fall in your regulated capitalism?
Not as regulated as I would want, but better than most countries.
Yeah, but then you go, okay, so when we go to Scandinavian countries, you're not going to have any entrepreneur who's going to, like, Elon Musk is not moving there. They're not even coming to Australia or these countries where they have to pay slightly higher taxes than
right. So I would like to live in a regulated capitalism country where it's taking benefit of a more unregulated capital. Like it gets all the benefits, like Facebook, Twitter, Google Maps, NASA, all the technology.
So we're taking advantage of that while American taxpayers are suffering.
Yes, exactly. I think the world needs. Yeah. I think we need Americans to suffer for the rest of the world.
Yeah,
but living.
Yeah, I mean, but it's not that easy, because you think that because in Australia we have, and in the UK as well, you've got NHS. We look after people who are unemployed and people getting older, etc. But then we don't have that kind of a generous welfare system in the US. We don't have that many homeless people. In these other Scandinavian countries or these other countries like New Zealand, etc. But it's not really heaven for mad innovation.
Yeah, it's not. By the way, Darko just celebrated his 23-month membership by saying great energy. Thank you, Darko. But guys, if you're members, you can celebrate every month. You can celebrate how long you've been a member. So do that.
Oh, really? How do they do that?
Also, there's a new feature, by the way. I don't know if you know this. You can buy other people memberships. Did you know that?
Really?
You can gift membership. Yeah, you
Somebody
can
was talking about it.
Yeah. So you could gift memberships to other people.
I don't know how to do it though. Do you know how to do it? I'm sure. Yeah, you'll follow the prompts, I guess. Right. Okay. Yeah. Well, guys, all my rich followers, you can buy membership for some people who can't afford the membership.
Yes.
So either way, the money will come my way.
Talking about membership, should we invite members up now?
Oh yeah, let's do it. I think we've run out of topics. Actually, we just babbled on for so long, didn't we? Yeah, let's invite members. Yeah, if there are any members, but just put it in the chat. Actually, no, that'll include everyone.
No, because I promised our
members only.
Yeah, so members will be like, "What the hell? Why are you putting it in the live chat when you told us that this is the benefit of membership?"
Right. True.
I have to
see. I usually post it anyway because not a lot of people would come anyway. Because my one of my membership perks is that you can get a priority link to join the stream. So I do that just before my show, basically.
So it's in my community tab right now. It's in for members only. Do you want to post it?
Yeah, I'm doing that now. Yeah,
for members. Okay.
Join us live. We be live. That's what you say.
We'll be live. Yes. Wait, I was hoping Friendly Muslim comes here today. I don't know why he's not here.
Is he a member? Is he your member? He's not my member.
Yeah.
Son of a gun.
Well, I mean, he's so he's not a member, but he's like a contributing member. So
but how does he? But then how does he get your link?
I made him an honorary member.
Well,
there we go. Speak of the
devil.
Yeah. Oh no! Don't tell him that. He's going to be offended.
No, he won't. He's long.
Hey, Friendly Muslim.
We be live.
You're muted, Friendly Muslim. Is this a real Friendly Muslim?
Yes, it's the real one. I'm standing up. Greetings, friends.
Hi, how are you?
You called my name and I appeared.
Good.
I like this. I like the back and forth. I like the conversation. I'm enjoying this. I thought you guys would, tear it up a little bit more. It's a bit friendly at the moment. I thought you'd,
No, he's gonna get rough. Don't worry. It's gonna get rough.
Get into the whole incest debate, or obviously we're moving past that one. Fine, all right.
I'll move past that one.
Okay, a quick one, because Haris was mentioning the statue, the fountain. Do you have an update on the Gwanwapi mosque situation? Because
Gwanwapi.
Yesterday there was an update, a verdict.
Oh, I haven't seen it.
Wait, give us a intro, give us a breakdown of what happened.
Haris is the man, because he knows, he's very close to this.
So
he'll tell you.
So there's a site in India where they say, what happened with when they demolished Babri Masjid, and say now we're going to make a Ram Mandir there. Now there's another site where they say they want to demolish this mosque, and they say at the bottom we have found this Shiva Lingam, what we were discussing earlier. We found this.
Yay.
So they say we want to demolish. So this proves that this was a Hindu temple. So we need to destroy that, and now we need to, just like Babri Masjid, we need to destroy this masjid, and now we're gonna build a temple here. So what's the update?
I have no idea. I thought they had the court case, because it's been going on for months, basically.
Oh,
so while I'm talking about it, maybe you could update.
So what's the new standard? You go find Shiva's dick in different random places, and you claim that this used to be a temple?
Yes, pretty much.
Okay, so Muslims, make sure you don't have. Muslims, make sure there's no dicks lying around anywhere in your temple, because Hindus are going to claim, Muslims are going to come and claim your mosque for themselves if there's a dick lying around.
No, so the whole situation is there was a whole debate about whether it's a fountain, because it was in a Wudu area, or whether it is actually previously a Shiva Lingam, basically. So that was the whole argument. And
tell Muslim sisters not to bring their dildos to the mosque, because somebody could make make a mistake.
But having said that though,
are they Shiva Lingam shaped dildos? They should be one if there is a. That seemed like a great market.
No, it doesn't have a head there though. The head's pretty plain.
No, but I think there should be a vibrating Shiva Lingam.
Vibrating Shiva.
All right, but go on. What's the update?
Again, that's Armin's view. I'm not commenting on that at all. That is completely something Armin.
Don't be a dickophobe.
Might bring that out in the near future. Something vibrating. We've been through this.
Well, actually, actually, no. That's a very good idea. Imagine that all the devotees of Shivalingam, they will literally take it. They will, and introduce a new exercise. Who was it? Parvati or Gayatri? Who's the one who's?
Yeah, Parvati.
Yeah. So now you can reenact what Parvati did. Here it is. $4.99 Shivalingam. Now only Parvatis they can actually do it. So that's not a bad idea, I reckon.
Yeah.
That might sell. That might be a good.
It even has a cum collector, so you don't have to clean up.
Which would look like what they made for to collect milk. Yeah.
Yeah. Exactly.
We're gonna get cancelled. We're cancelled.
It went downhill so far. It went downhill so quickly. But this is. I don't know if there's anything wrong though. Like, I mean, it's that's part of the scripture, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, by the way, if you're a Hindu and you're offended, it's because you've been influenced by Muslims coming to India, okay? Because your religion was okay with like all sorts of sexy stuff. Like your sex negativity and being so ashamed of these things is the influence of Islam on India. Because look at your stories. Like, you used to be so cool, but now you're just like Puritans.
Yeah.
You're like, and then. This is why Hindus keep telling us, like, oh, you have an Abrahamic mindset, so you don't understand Hinduism, right? I'm like, no, actually, you have an Abrahamic mindset. Hinduism was not like this. It's because of it. It's the Abrahamic mindset that made Hinduism like it is today.
Like an Abrahamic.
Every time you get offended over sexy stuff, it's your Abrahamic mindset that is making you offended. Yeah.
One credit that I would definitely give to the ancestors of our current Hindus is that they were so sexually liberated.
Yeah,
this
was the only good thing. The only good thing about Hinduism was that it was very sexually.
And another one, they were getting high on mushrooms. And they were getting high on mushrooms too, so that's another good thing about it. They
decided to keep the caste system and get rid of the sexual liberation. Like, imagine if it was the other way around.
Yeah. Imagine that, man. Everyone would have moved to India. We're coming, literally. Supply and demand.
What? I don't understand this, but okay.
Okay, so
we're gonna make Friendly Muslim never come here again. He's already regretting his decision.
The greatest meeting of the minds ever.
No, but friendly Muslim. No, look at his emoji. Look at his picture. He's like he's a bit of a metrosexual boy, isn't he? Friendly Muslim. Look at if that is.
Yeah, I think so. I think if I had to guess, I would say Friendly Muslim is bi.
What? What? Under what What? Hang on a minute. Whoa. Rewind, fella. Right, hold on a minute. Oi, Governor, stop it. Hold on. There's nothing bi anything. The only thing bi about me is bilingual, bro.
Okay, either bi or gay. And what's wrong? Why are you guys acting like this is bad?
It's not bad, but it's just.
I mean, based on a picture, like what do you?
Yeah, that's a very That's a very metrosexual picture.
Guys, come on. Picture. I'm sure the entire live chat knows what I'm talking about. Be honest with me. Who in the live chat hasn't assumed that Friendly Muslim is either gay or bi? Like, who hasn't?
Are you kidding me? Are you? You lot of.
There you go. Tam agrees.
Yeah.
Tush. What does tush mean?
Touche. Tush. See? You see, Tush is everywhere. He is gay.
Sheikh is saying, Armin, did you assume his sexuality? Yeah, I did. Like,
you did.
What's wrong with that? I'm guessing.
You can't project that. I have a right to my own
sexuality.
Yeah.
Have a right to your sexuality. We stand
Well,
by
I'm
you.
guessing it. I'm not taking away your sexuality from you. I'm kidding. I know I'm kidding.
Just so everybody knows that I'm completely straight.
Friendly Muslim is
well, why are you offended? Are you a homophobe?
I'm not offended. I mean, I just the fact that you just you were picture and presume.
No, it's not because of your picture. It's because of the way you talk.
Well, because I'm a sensitive masculine man. That's all. And
masculine is that. I haven't seen sensitive. Feminine. You're feminine. You have feminine.
I don't think I'm feminine. I don't think I'm feminine at all.
Is it bad to be feminine? Why are you?
He's trying to tell you he's a very hairy man. Bastard is saying no human is 100% straight. I don't know. Like, I mean,
really?
I think it's Oscar Wilde who said it. Everyone's a little bit gay.
Well, I mean, okay, but like,
you're a little bit gay too. I mean, you're a little bit. I'm the only.
I mean, I wouldn't mind. I wouldn't mind being a little bit bi, but I'm wondering if I am bi. Okay, how am I? How is it that it's so? I'm not seeing it. Like, am I hiding it? Like, what am I? Because I've heard this theory, okay, that everybody is bi, but once people are like very gay or very straight, like close to very, but I am so straight that like if I have a bi in me, like I wouldn't mind it. I would like to discover it and enjoy it if it's real.
Maybe.
But why am I not noticing it? Like, how is it so hidden from me?
I think both of you guys. No, I think you guys need to just get it on and maybe start with the champagne or something. And you might notice it.
Honestly, I wouldn't be ashamed of it. If I was bi, I would do it. Like, people think like, oh, you're bi. Like, yeah, I would. Why would that be? Why would that be a bad thing? If I bi, I would go like take advantage of it. But I'm not.
Which way in bi would you swing?
There would be no way. So stop.
What do you mean there would be way? Like me and Friendly Muslim, I would be on top, obviously.
No, you would not ever. No, you would not, bro.
Between me and Friendly Muslim, obviously, I'm the top.
You would be on another continent. That's how that works.
No. In a Friendly Muslim, in a hypothetical situation.
Would you?
Obviously, no, guys. This is serious. Okay, obviously, if I was gay and Friendly Muslim was gay as well, and we were in a relationship, obviously I would be the top.
No, obviously you would not be anything other than a different relationship.
He will send you on a different continent.
Come on, it's obvious.
The only thing you'd be is a pen pal, mate.
He'll very quickly become your lap pal.
Come on, guys.
Around here.
Okay. This is hypotheticals, Friendly Muslim. Yeah, there we go.
Hypothetically, you're a distant pen pal.
Look, they agreed. Armin is definitely at top. There we go. Right.
Well, I never understand what being on top means, because it could actually be an active and passive. Both kind of people can be on top.
No, okay. Top is not just about your. See, this is what somebody who's not a top doesn't understand. Okay.
I'm sorry. I'm very straight. I don't understand this gay talk. Sorry.
No, being a top. No, being a top is not just about the position that you're in. It's also about the attitude. Okay. Right. You could be lying on your back, but you're taking so much control and domination that you're on the top, even if you're at the bottom. So yeah.
All right.
And being a top or bottom is not just about gay relationships. It's about all relationships. Right.
Oh yeah, okay, that's right as well.
I'm gonna get full 34, bro, and just stop. Right.
Okay, Friendly Muslim prefers Harrison.
Right. Friendly.
Harris said that he might change his orientation in order to, get with the friendly. Remember that one? Remember we were talking about that? And he said,
Did I ever say that?
Yeah.
Did I ever say it? I might have said it.
We were talking about love jihad. And I remember saying, if we wanted to get, married, and then, you'd change yourself, and I'd asked you, all right, but get rid of the beard, though.
Jeez, I don't know.
I mean, I think Harris would make a very attractive woman. I'm just saying.
I would be very attractive. I have pictures to prove as a woman.
Look at it. Oh
yeah,
I'm sorry, Armin. You also would make a very beautiful woman. Also, there we go.
I
Let's
would.
keep it equal.
No, you
already make a
don't.
very-
You don't even. You
already
don't
make
even
a-
have to guess.
I mean, you already make a very beautiful man as well, in a beauty
Thank you.
sense, you know, not in a
Thank you,
masculine
thank you.
man sense. I mean, it's just beautiful man. You know, like how.
I think Harris is coming on to me. Here, let me show you. Let me guys show you what I would look like as a girl.
Female version? Oh,
This is me.
whoa.
Come
I'm
on.
going. I'm definitely going the straight way.
This is. Come on, like who would
Is that you?
like, guys?
So if,
Yeah, that's me.
if I'm frothing over her, then I'm not a perv because that person doesn't exist. Yeah.
Well, I mean, you could, even if she did exist, that would be okay.
No, if she did
she's
exist, then,
nice.
you know, yeah. No, but if she did exist, then like it's not appropriate for me to be just frothing over someone on social media. You know, it's just.
I do
it's
it all
just
the time.
Yeah, well, yeah, maybe that's why you have a reputation of being a sleaze bag.
No, but I'm right. I'm doing it over myself right now. I would do me.
Yeah, I don't know. In this case, it's okay
Mm.
because she doesn't exist, but she's very pretty. But I think she's around 19. Yeah, she's very young though. She's very young. She's not your age.
Mm.
Yeah. So do you have
I
a
would
sister,
do
Armin?
Well, let's say the discussion. No, never mind. I should say this. No, I'm gonna stop.
All right.
Okay.
So no one else is coming. I just. Oh, by the way, friendly Muslim. How did you get the link to this stream?
I sent it to him.
He said, "Yeah, Armin."
Oh, where did you see it?
I emailed it to him.
Oh, right, okay. Oh, you emailed
Yeah,
it.
we're friends. See, he emails me.
right.
Unlike you don't email me.
No, we did message each other. Anyway.
No.
He's a friendly
I was
Muslim.
joking.
By the way, friendly Muslim, why are you not a member? Why do I have
Exactly.
to?
That's where I was going. I thought that he was your
Yeah.
member. No,
You should be a member. Like
you member.
yeah, you're not
No, but I
friendly
think-
enough.
But I think it might,
enough.
but I think no. But he has a bit of a dilemma. You know, like I mean, technically speaking, if he does become a member, then he'll be aiding and abetting Allah's enemies to some extent.
Well, we're Iblis's friends. Does that count?
Yeah, we did what that. Yeah, I know. Friendly Muslim, you can't really be our friends either because we are the enemies of Allah.
Oh, stop! Why do you have to go there? Like, why we're doing so well?
Look, we just try to be logically consistent, you know.
We are chitting.
I don't
we are
want you to-
chatting. You know, we are having good talkings, and now you want to be. We are not friends. Yeah, I like
No,
you,
we are.
friends.
We can't be. No. The question is like we have no problem being your friends. Okay.
Yeah,
But we're wondering why you have no problem being our friend, given that we are enemies of Allah.
Ooh.
But
Ooh.
isn't the verse not your guardians as such? So if friends is okay. I asked
Even though
Abdullah,
we're enemies of Allah, even though
friends
we're
is
enemies
okay.
of Islam.
Yeah, but you're not responsible for me. That's different.
No, but we don't want.
Yeah.
No, but we don't want you to go to hell. You know.
You don't want.
No,
me
I'm
to-
just curious. I'm
I'll
just
be okay.
curious. How could you believe in Allah? Okay. How come? Why do you think it's permissible to be friends with somebody that is like fighting against his religion?
Because people fought against the religion before in the time of the Prophet.
Okay, but they
also
were bad.
people fought
According to
against
Islam,
it.
they were bad people.
And then they
but
became
they-
Muslim.
Oh, so that's the agenda. You want it to be Muslim eventually. Like,
Yeah.
what if you die? What if you die while we're still non-Muslims? You know, like so. This is like a you died midway, and you go to Allah, and Allah would say, "Hey, you failed. You didn't convert them back to Islam." No, and they kept look while we're up here. They're still having a stream against me. You know?
Actually, you being friends with us is encouraging us to be more anti-Islam. Do you know why?
Yeah.
Oh, really?
No, I am genuine. I'm genuine.
No.
This is no genuinely. You know why?
Why?
Okay, so here's how I argue you being friends with us makes me more anti-Islamic, okay? Because I argue to people, right? Like people say, like, Armin, stop it. Stop burning the Quran. Stop making pictures of Muhammad. Stop being so anti-Islamic. Muslims would not even be friends with you. They won't talk to you. I would like, yes, they would. Look at friendly Muslim. So I don't need, I don't need to stop. I have to.
This is actually very encouraging for us.
I would warn you. You said I would warn you before I did anything like that. So I said, okay, fine.
No, yeah, but I'm not going to do it in front of you, obviously. I'm not going to do something that will upset you. But you knowing that I did these things has not stopped you from being friends with me, okay? So I could go out to the world and be like, look, I have friends that are Muslim, that it didn't stop them from, like, me burning the Quran, didn't stop them from being friends with me. So don't tell me to stop burning the Quran. I'm capable of having Muslim friends even when I burn the Quran.
We're gonna have to figure that one out. We're working on that particular problem. But okay, hang on. Actually, me and Harris went through this because there was the whole Quran burner in Norway, and who was coming, and the two women chased after him and turned over his car, and we kind of said, well, it is a case that we need to show reserve. The guy had a right to destroy his property. We may not like it, but that was his property at the end of the day, and so even if it's offensive to me, that was his property technically. So so we'd have to stand on that position. So I think that was the position on that. So I can stand by that.
I have another difficult one for. So just before we were going to Germany, and a friendly Muslim sent me. Now I remember it was on Instagram. So we may not email each other, but we do Instagram each other. So he told me, like, and some unruly thing had just happened. He's like, "Hey man, I'm so worried about you and Nuria. Please, guys, take care of yourself when you go to Cologne." And it was so sweet. But so you are actually praying for the well-being of the enemies of Allah.
Friendly Muslim was praying for us. Were you praying for us?
Yeah. For me, I don't know about you, but he was praying for me.
Wait, did you pray for Harris and not me?
I told all of you that I was safe and I was concerned, and I even told you, Armin, that look, be safe. Man, Harris is such a
no.
I was concerned about them. I was concerned about all of you. Yes.
I'm not talking about concern. Did you pray for us?
I can't tell you whether I prayed for you or not, because
you prayed for me. You prayed for me. Oh, you prayed for me.
Oh,
you prayed for my safety.
But then it doesn't make a difference to you guys, because you're like, we don't believe. So then it's like.
No, but your intention, that is so sweet. Of course, it doesn't do anything. But the fact that you intended to help us, I don't know. I feel like that's kind of sweet. Wait, did you post a link to everybody? Harris, did you just post a link to everybody?
I don't know what is coming, so I just do it on just on my channel. That's okay. Just I think there's one person who wants to come. They probably wouldn't even come.
He wants some action. He wants some action. All right.
I do want some action. There are a couple of Tunnis. There are a couple of Tunnis in the chat. But
oh my god. Okay, Tunnis came here. There's a Tunni here.
Can I stay for the action then?
There are a couple of Tunnis in the chat. But
oh my god. Okay, Tunni.
Wait, we were hearing us. You need to turn your YouTube off.
Yeah, we were hearing. There was echo.
You need to turn your YouTube off, and then we're gonna try you again. Yeah.
No.
Okay. Maybe you should leave and then come back.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Tunnis don't know how to use technology, I guess.
That's an anti-Tunni statement. What are you doing?
Wait, I thought it's okay to be anti-Tunni. Wasn't Tunni automatically?
No, Tunni is a bit biggest. Yeah, that the definition that is there on the Urban Dictionary, that is their biggest, basically. We don't call non-bigoted Hindus. We don't call them Tunnis. Okay. All right, Tunni.
Wait, why are you making me?
Yeah, just in case there is a screen jihad on our stream. So sometimes the Tunnis can come and they can flash something.
Okay, put yourself then as the main character.
All right. Hey, Tuni, what do you want to say?
Tony, yeah, I'm here. Thanks, Harris.
Okay,
Uh,
yeah. What would you like to say?
Yeah, I would like to say that, like, I agree with, though even though I don't like it, what you are mocking sometime back, this one, but that you have a right to mock it, and that's what the whole point is. That when we can laugh at ourselves, we don't take religion so seriously. That's when we make a better word. But the thing is, the thing what you told that India is going on a path where, basically, I'm from India, so. India is going on a path where if there can be a massacre and genocide and all. So, for that point, I would say that I think that was a bit far of an interpretation, far-fetched interpretation, I would say, because me myself being a very hardcore supporter of the BJP, like just when 2014, I myself took leave and from my office for 1 month, and then I went to campaign and all. So you can think that I am a bit hardcore. I was a supporter of BJP, but we don't have. The thing is, in India, what is the problem at the current junction is we don't have a very moderate kind of a centrist voice. Who is so either there are people who are very mute spectator to the kind of Islamic extremists for whatever the reason, and there are people who are on the right side of the center. So that's where the BJP falls into, and we don't have any centrist voice. The Congress was supposed to be there, but that is not there. So they have also aligned themselves to the right. For example, this triple talaq and all those things came, which is good for Muslims and everyone, but there was a very much of a opposition regarding those kind of
Okay, I think I know your point. I think that now you're going in different tangents. So you said that maybe my interpretation is far-fetched, and I hope that my understanding is wrong or my fears turn out to be false. But whenever we
say that to Amin.
Sorry?
I would say Amin.
Oh yeah, absolutely. But whenever we look at all the past genocides, it ticks all the boxes. Where there's a major majority, there's a dominant majority. First, the opposition or the other minorities or sizable minority, they are demonized, they're dehumanized. Then there are chants, these bigoted chants are invented, and then there are cases of public humiliation, etc. Whether you look at what happened in Germany, you look at hotel.
No, I agree.
Just let me finish my point, man. I listen to your point. I know you agree, and then you say no. Why it's wrong? I'm just giving you my perspective. Okay, as I said, I could be wrong. But why I'm saying that, I'm telling you why I'm saying that. So every time you look at it, these are telltale signs of something bad is about to happen. So we see these. So no, people think that you're giving a free pass to Muslims. Okay, so there's violence against Hindu women and what you call love jihad, but there's an unorganized love jihad, but there's no organized conspiracy of love jihad. That's just a BS story. So and how Muslims behave towards blasphemers, etc. We know all of that, so no one is ignoring that. But the point is, those incidents and then these incidents, it's like you're basically sitting on a powder keg, and when it's going to happen, whenever it's going to happen, you and I can at least agree, whenever it's going to happen, if it's going to happen, Hindu Muslim riots or whatever, Muslims are going to be the one who's going to be who going to be massacred. There would be very few Hindu. Same thing happened in Gujarat and every other riot in the past. It was always the Muslims who got massacred. I think there was one instance somebody told me once that it was there was one particular incident where more Hindus were killed, but when I looked at it, it was actually even. So so you and I can agree on that. If it does happen, science forbid, if it does happen, then Muslims are going to be on the losing end, and it's not good for India as a country. You think, what would be the global headlines when the headlines will be reading, when the news stories will be coming out of 50,000 Muslims massacred, or 30,000 Muslims massacred? What do you think? What would be the global headline? And how bad would it be on social media? How this Islamophobia narrative would multiply overnight. It already has, in the name of Myanmar and Rohingya and all that. And then, people don't talk about Chinese one. But so all of these things can happen. That's why we just say that, okay, these chants, you and I can agree these chants, mulle kaate jayenge, ram ram chalayenge, like these kind of chants. And there's so many of those videos. I'm sick and tired of playing them.
No, okay. I agree that there has been increasing increasing kind of extremism on both sides. That I agree. Okay, and even me being a right wing, that I agree that there has been this one. There is a significant increase. But what I would say, the best way to defeat BJP, I being a BJP supporter, I would say the best way to defeat BJP is by playing the hardcore centrist role. Because Hindus, even though you might agree, but I would say Hindus by default, they are not bound by one sect of a god. So they, by childhood, they are like, my father prayed to different god, I pray to different god, though we sometimes pray to the same god, but we believe in different gods. So we have this kind of a thing inbuilt in ourselves.
But you all take pride. But you all take pride in your Sanatan roots, your ancestors. You all take pride in that. You have a civilizational dogma, yeah.
No, root in a sense. See, like sometime back you were talking about Gita, and I being the Brahmin, I mean to
I'm not talking about Gita. Okay, no, you're missing the point. I'm not talking about Gita or scriptures. I understand this. The Hinduism as religion is very dynamic, but I'm talking about your civilizational dogma itself. Like, we have this great rich history, very touchy about Aryan migration story and all that. There are certain trigger points that trigger all these Hindus who are actually conservative radical Hindus. They're their trigger points. Fair enough, the liberals or whatever you call them, but it wouldn't matter to them. But you guys have a trigger point. It's like, oh, okay, this is a Desh Drohi. You guys give out these certificates willy-nilly. Anyone who doesn't buy into your ancient ancestors, great civilization, whatever you want to tell the world, or how bad the Mughals were, and before that, it was so hunky-dory in India. We were a great civilization with the longest surviving civilization that hasn't gone extinct. Blah blah blah. All of that. There might be some truth in it, but you take a lot of pride in that, yeah? And when you take pride in those things that you personally have no contribution to, you become more defensive. You become more aggressive in defense of it. And that's exactly what we're seeing. So you may not agree on who Lord Shiva or whatever, but you do agree on that.
Okay.
One second, with regards to the Gita, I think you're pointing to me, what I was saying, not what Harris was saying, right?
No, okay. See, what I'm saying is, okay.
Can I respond to that? No, wait, I asked a question. Can you answer my question? Were you referring to me?
Yeah, I was referring to you. But before that, you answered. Can I take one more minute and then answer?
Okay, go ahead.
Okay. So what I'm saying is, see, if you know caste system, I am a Brahmin, and so that is supposed to be highest on the hierarchy. Okay. But what I would say that I don't have a single scripture, Hindu scripture at my home. So what I'm saying is, even though, because when this 1947 this partition happened, and we also have to by court of a law, when Christians put Bible and Muslims put Quran for taking oath and all. Hindus, they don't have any book at that point of time, and somehow that point they agree that okay, let's take Gita. But most of them, not about reading, they don't have that as a holy book at home also. I don't have a single holy book.
But that's what we said. Okay, you have to let me speak now, okay?
Yeah.
That's it. That was entirely my point. People are like, oh, Armin, you're misunderstanding things. Hinduism is dynamic. Hindus could pick and choose which scripture they take seriously, and even atheism is allowed in Hinduism. But that's what I say, okay? I say theoretically Hindus have the worst scripture. But in effect, it's not the worst religion because they just ignore it, right? So that's exactly my point. People are like, oh, Armin, what are you saying? Look at Hindus. Hindus don't commit genocide, even though this is your interpretation of the Gita. Hindus do not have the tradition that Muslims do, that go read the Quran and be like, okay, how should we live our lives according to the Quran? They don't do that. The way in Hinduism influences their life is through the community. They live the life of the community, and they just understand what they're supposed to. Hinduism, if Hinduism has any influence on their lives, is not because they're going out and just following scripture. Okay, the traditions that they think like are models for them how to live their life goes through one generation to another generation, and you see it in effect, and you see what other people do, and you hear what other people say is the right thing to do or the Hindu thing to do, and it just influences you that way. It's not like Islam where you just follow the scripture, where you're supposed to at least follow the scripture, right? So I understand that. That's why I say scripturally, Hinduism, if you're only judging the scripture without taking into account the effect the scripture has on society, in that case, Hinduism has the word scripture. But in effect, it doesn't play out like that. So I say that.
We've got to move on. So thank you very much for coming, Tony. By the way,
few more points. If you just give me a chance, like a few more points. Like, see, I work in IT, and I have a lot of Muslim friends. Some of them are in Kerala. So there was one of my friend who is a very high post in it is a like top 5 company of the world. So we were working together, and he got 3 daughters, and those are like 5, 7, and 9, and all of them now has to go to mosque, where he takes, like, we used to go to badminton, and suddenly he stopped coming. Then we came to know, then he himself told that he has to take their daughter to the mosque for the Quran teaching. They are like 5, 7, and 9, so they wear all these face veils, and they go there. And when we asked them that what is the point at the age of 5, then he told, if you don't do that, and he's from the Kerala, if he doesn't do that, he will be outcasted, because once they go home back in the Kerala, from the place I was working, they will be asked a question on that. And so I say that the centrist.
What's your point? What's the point? Make the point.
The point is, there is a much more of a centrist approach which is required here, which is not there, and which is leading to Muslims being more dogmatic, and Hindus also.
Okay. So here's the thing. First of all, don't make conclusions based on anecdotes. Okay. Even if you're right, looking at one person's life and their story is not a good way to come up with a conclusion about an entire community. Even if you're right.
Got it. No, I was just giving an example.
That's why you can't give those examples.
Maybe if you use stats and come up with a conclusion and then use an example as a way to color it, that makes sense, okay? But you didn't do that. You're just using the example to come up with a conclusion. The examples make sense when you're trying to show us, after you use stats and data, after you use an example for us to make emotional connection with it. That's how you use examples.
Got it.
Okay, we got to wrap this up. Thank you.
Okay, just last thing. We claimed that about Modi. So when he was a Gujarat chief minister, even after 2002, there he took overdrive of cleaning up, broadening the roads. So in India, there is a lot of encroachment and all. So in Ahmedabad, they broke during this encroachment drive. He broke around 108 temples, Hindu temples. And so just I want to give a picture that whatever comes in all the media, right, that everything is bad, it is not that bad, and the guy who is in top is like all ready to kill. It is not like that. He's also like a pretty
but the problem with him is Nietzsche said that ideas are only good as their outcome. So ideas can only be judged based on how they pan out. So when we see ever since Modi came to power, we see radical Hindutva. I've said multiple times, I've never heard Modi himself give out any statement. But how many BJP political workers and politicians, second, third tier politicians, who've actually said some terrible things, and they have maintained their position? I mean, there's no disciplinary action taken against them. Even Nupur Sharma, although I don't think she did anything wrong, she should have been more careful because she was really reckless, but I don't think she did anything wrong. She was only fired after there was this, all this pressure coming from the Gulf countries.
You don't think she did anything? You don't think as a politician?
That's why I said she was reckless. She could have been smarter, but no. But we also expect politicians to, to say sometimes the most inconvenient things as well. So
no. But was when she was speaking, was she speaking as her? Because we also believe in secularism, right? So again, I don't think she did it. She said anything that was not true. Everything she said was true. But we want religion to stay out of politics, right?
No,
but they weren't discussing politics there. They were discussing this Gyan issue.
But was she speaking as her role as the speaker for BJP, or was she speaking as an individual?
Well, you can never separate the two, because at that point, hang on, Tony. They were speaking at that time. They were speaking about this Gyan mask, the same issue we were talking about. So the issue itself is probably it's in the court, but people are just talking about it. So you could probably argue
a politician should not be making any claims about religion for or against when they're in that role because of secularism.
No. This is not. No, I don't agree, because people say all the time. Hang on a sec. People say that all the time. It's a beautiful religion. It's a religion of peace. Politicians say that. I know they shouldn't, but they do. Yeah. So we live in the world. If they do, if you can propagate a religion, then politicians should also be able to knock it back. So I think it's reckless, but I think it's fine. I know you are. I know you are. It's fine. You go get the medal of consistency. But I live in the real world. If people on TV are going to promote religion, or they're going to say, "Hey, my religion is so good," blah blah blah, then I reserve the right. I don't care in which capacity I'm sitting there. If I think it's wrong, I would say, "Sorry, what you just blabbered there is BS. Your religion is not that perfect."
You think it makes sense for a senator to come and say like, "Oh, Islam"?
If it's being done in the senator's presence, so you tell me. So if some person makes a claim, you're a senator. I'm making a claim. Hey, my religion is wonderful, is beautiful. My prophet was the most misogynist person, was the most feminist person.
As a senator,
you're a senator. You're sitting there. No, I'm saying that. I'm saying that. Yeah? Maybe I'm a senator as well. Maybe I'm a Muslim senator. And
Let's say you say Christianity is amazing.
Yeah. No, I'm a Muslim senator.
I would say my personal views differ, but if you want to know them, talk to me when I'm not speaking out.
It doesn't work that way. Yeah. Okay. Sure.
It works. What do you mean it doesn't work? You literally can do that.
Okay, sure. So, but you would actually lose the argument, because why? Because people are not going to listen to you. What your personal views?
Who cares about? I'm a senator. I'm not trying to win arguments. I'm not a YouTuber. I'm a senator.
Okay, all right. I get the point. But this is not how it works, because that person is also a senator, but he's just put the argument forward. In your case,
well, the argument is okay. If that person is also
okay, I know we want to fight, and we want to make this very interesting. It's going to happen. So let me finish my point.
Finish. I'll write it down.
If I'm a senator. I'm just promoting my religion, and you are a polite secular senator with really strong ideals, and you say, no, my personal views are different. But if you want to talk to me, we can talk about it privately or in some other platform. Actually, that would never happen, because wherever you go, unless you resign as a senator, you would never be able to express them publicly. So if you say that, okay, I would say, oh, okay, Mr. Senator, your private beliefs are amazing, and whatever they are, I don't care. I've just used my 30 seconds on TV, and 100 million people have watched me, and I've said it. My religion is great, and a lot of people are going to buy into it. So I've won. I have won as a propagandist, and I've just said great things about my religion, and the other person didn't say anything.
All right, so you're thinking like a YouTuber rather. Wait, I'm supposed to respond, okay? First of all, you're thinking as a YouTuber rather than a senator, okay? You're not, as a senator, you're not trying to defeat Islam, Christianity, Judaism, or any other religion, okay? You're supposed to represent. Your job is not to win arguments over religion. Your arguments is to represent the people, and all the people, not a specific group of the people. So if you come and say like, oh, Hinduism is great and Islam is horrible, or vice versa, okay? You're not being a senator, you're being a YouTuber, okay? So also, this is, can you guys mute your mics when I'm still, God damn it. Here, I'll meet you. Also, when you act like this is a polite, cocked position, if somebody comes and defends Hinduism, okay, or Islam or Christianity, I could be as rude as I want to them. I'm like, shut the fuck up. You're a senator. Why are you promoting religion? Just because I'm not going to tell them that Islam is wrong. Like, for example, let's say they promote Islam or Hinduism. Okay, as a senator, I'm not going to come and say, oh no, you're wrong, Islam is actually horrible or Hinduism is actually horrible. I could be rude and aggressive and win the battle by saying, like, know your place. You're a fucking senator. You're a senator for everybody. This is not your job to debate religion. This is still a secular country. So I could still be aggressive.
Okay, so you're saying, okay, your job is not to attack or defend religion, it is to represent people. Well, I can also say your job is to tell the truth. So it's not a matter of opinion.
As a senator, not every truth. As a senator, your job is to say some of the truth, not every truth.
No, if there's a lie being told right across your face, then you should be actually telling the truth, because
I'm
not missing.
You're an active. That's our job. That's my job and your job.
No. Even a senator can do it. No, even a senator can do it. I'm saying. Well, what they can, as I said, like if someone says, "Oh, Prophet Muhammad," if somebody literally says that on TV, that Prophet Muhammad is so kind, this woman used to throw this rubbish, you can say categorically this is false story. It has no basis for this story to be real, according to your own standard. Now that could be taken as an anti-Islamic statement, but this is actually a factually correct statement.
Okay. So let's say, for example, Joe Biden or Obama, actually read the Quran and said, like, oh my God, this is a horrible book and it's like promoting like it's sexist and anti-human and anti-everything. Okay, let's say they read it and like, oh my God, what the hell? I didn't know Quran is this horrible. Okay, you think if somebody came in front of like Obama as the president, came out and said like Islam is the most wonderful religion in the world and stuff, you want Obama, the president of the United States, to come and say, actually, no, it's not. It's horrible. It's a horrible religion. Okay, sure. You're living in a dream world. That's not how politics works.
I'm not. No. I can know, but as I said, you can actually do it. Because you're saying, no, listen to this argument. Listen to this argument why it is important. It's because you're saying you're living in an idealistic world. You're saying that they should not do it either. I'm saying they do that all the time. So if they're doing it, if they're slapping it across your face over and over and over again, and then secularism doesn't mean that you have to be totally, you have to be polite to it. Secularism means you have to be absolutely neutral, no pro, no anti. So if there's pro being done all the time, pro-religion comments are being made all the time, surely you can counter it. Again, as I said,
it's kind of like saying like, oh, they're committing this crime, and because nobody's supposed to be doing it, but because we could do it as well because they're doing it. Like, it's nonsense. This is it's a logical fallacy. Two wrong doesn't make it right.
No.
And you're also saying I'm being naive. People are doing it. Yeah, as an activist that is pro-secularism, I didn't say people are not doing it, but I have to call it out every time. I call it out when they defend religion, so I call it out when they're anti-religion as well. That's our job. Our job is to be anti-religion.
I think a senator can do that too, because we expect people would expect them to tell the truth. I would say that this might be inappropriate. You could say that this could lead. You
not commenting on something does not mean you're lying. As a politician, you're not supposed to talk.
But as a politician, my constituency can think that, this guy knew all of that, but he's gutless and spineless. That could really through you.
No, I'm not. No, I'm not spineless. I'm a politician, and this is a secular country, so we should not be in favor or against any other religion. As a politician, individuals can. A politician that is trying to maintain a secular country can't.
Yeah, but you can make a factual statement, I think. But anyway, I think we'll let people decide. Okay. All right. Thank you very much for being there.
Which country do you live?
Australia.
What?
Oh, so you have queens. Armin, you live in Canada, right?
Yeah, but please, can we not discuss where we live? This is not good.
Oh, okay.
I already said this many times on. I said many times on the stream that we don't want to do that. But go on.
Okay, I'm saying that your constitution is inherently Christian secular constitution. So you do believe in God. Your constitution does believe in God.
Australian constitution is not Christian constitution.
Yeah. No, you can. Okay, so you don't understand. I know these things. I'm against it. I'm not a pro. I'm not saying Canada has the gold standard of everything. Okay, Canada. Every country could be more secular. There's literally a country that doesn't exist. There's literally no country that couldn't be more secular. Every country is not secular enough in my opinion, and it could be more secular. You're like, oh, you're living in Canada. Well, Canada has this. Well, fuck that. They have a queen, and the queen is supposed to be chosen by God. You think I like that just because I'm Canadian? I hate that. I hate the monarchy, and I hate the fact that the monarchy's position is being ordained by God. It doesn't make any sense. Why am I supposed to? You think I'm supposed to defend that position because I'm Canadian?
Okay, I'll make second point. So BJP is a political party. It's not a government. So Nupur Sharma was a spokesman for a political party. There are Dalit political parties.
That argument I buy. Okay, that argument, if it's accurate, okay. So if you can say that the political party is not a government body, which I doubt, but if you're right, okay, then I would be like, okay, fair. Then she had every right to say whatever she wanted. Like, not only had she had the right, she was also like, it was also acceptable, right? But if that's true, okay, but a lot of people tell me that that's not true. BJP is like, how could it not be part of the? I mean, does the BJP's budget come from? Does the BJP's budget? Let me ask a question. Does the BJP's budget come from taxpayer money or no?
No, it does, but no, it doesn't come from taxpayer money.
Okay, then she could say whatever the hell she was.
No, hang on. Actually, now in this case, I'll be on your side. But she was a okay, so you're saying, oh yeah, so she was okay. Oh, actually, good point, Oxymoron.
She was a spokesperson.
She was a spokesperson. She wasn't a politician.
No, Oxymoron has made this point before, and I told Oxymoron that if this is true before, I buy this argument.
Yeah, this is true. She was a spokesperson.
No, but this is a better argument than yours. Okay.
No. So my argument is still good for me though. Just let's not get this all jumbled across. Okay? So in my opinion, I would say as a politician, I would try to tell as many truths as I can, no matter how uncomfortable they are. That is my responsibility to my constituency. Okay, so that's my argument. Fair enough. We have different axioms here.
Okay, so also let me make Haris's case. So Haris means to say that politicians need not be secular. The constitution needs to be. So the politician can have religion. He can express religion however he wants. But the laws, they ought to be secular. So this is kind of American style democracy versus French style democracy.
Yes, I like to go more secular. Okay, I like it when everything is secular, including the politicians, not just the constitution.
Yeah, so there are political parties that have Dalit interests. There are political parties that have linguistic interests in India. So and it's natural that they would promote that kind of politics.
Exactly. Yeah.
I'm saying again. I'm not saying these things don't happen. You guys think. We know
that. We know you're not saying that. We know what you're saying.
I'm saying it would be better if religion was stayed out of politics. I think it would be a better world. So the more I could push for religion staying out of politics, I would. Even if it's not completely out of politics, I would keep pushing for it to be out of politics even more than before.
But then you would be violating freedom of religion if you would be posing that way.
How?
Then you would be violating expression of freedom of religion onto
No. Just because you could express it as much as you want on your own, not on your job. Okay, like for example, what are you talking about? Like for example, if I say in my office, like while you're an employee, okay, at my office, you cannot swear. Okay, is that a violation of your free speech? No, because you could go out as soon as you're off to your job. You could go swear as much as you want. You could go swear like a sailor. It's a requirement of the job in this company that you're not swearing. Okay, so as a politician, if I say like while you're on this job, you cannot be doing religious things. That is not a violation of your freedom of religion, because as soon as you go home, you could go to church, you could go have Bible studies, you could preach the Bible, you could preach the Quran, you could do whatever you want, but not as a politician, not while you're doing this job.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, okay. Thank you, Oxymoron. We got to wrap this up. Thank you. We got to wrap this up. Thank you. Okay.
Idris is here.
Idris is here. We got an angry loser here.
Angry loser and then Idris.
Very quickly, and we're not going to take any more calls. Okay, angry loser, what would you like to say?
Angry loser going once. Angry loser going twice. Angry loser going. Oh, there you go.
Yes, sir. Administrative changes. I have to mute. I have to mute myself, I think.
Yes. You have too much background.
I have to mute myself. Sorry.
Yes, there's a lot of background noise. We'll try you again. Just go to a quiet place and we get Idris here.
Hey.
Hello.
Hi, Idris. We missed you.
Yeah, it's been a while. So, hi, Harris, too.
Hello.
I look your stream sometime, but I follow Armin more closely, but I mostly watch your clips.
Yeah, you got no taste.
So yeah, the first thing I wanted to say was that since I've been watching this stream, I've been learning so much about Iran instead that now I'm traveling a bit, and I met an Iranian guy, and I started to talk to him about Iran, and he was so shocked by my knowledge that was, "Are you a spy?"
No, I know, but I know one. Armin Navabi.
Yeah, but it made me laugh so much. And so the second thing was about my question. Like, I know these aren't economics terms. Like, I studied a little bit economics on the side, so I know the basic stuff. What I wanted to say, like, kind of, it comes from.
So you're saying in physics, resonance is when like waves, the way that the peaks and of the wavelength match each other so perfectly that they keep adding to each other, right? So for example, if we go up and down, it goes like up and down like this, and it just like keeps adding and adding this way, right?
But
so
it works for many things. So
yes,
like
yes,
example,
I know it works for many. I know it works for many things. Okay. No, however, in economics, it doesn't. This doesn't happen in supply and demand in economics. Okay.
Yeah, but
because
wait.
It's all. Yeah, go.
So what I want to say is that anything will never be like instantaneous. So if the process of supply and demand corrects price, it doesn't do it instantaneously because there have to be like a transaction exchanges, and it's so you could quantify a force that acts on the price to bring it closer to the equilibrium based on like a lot of factors. But
wait, what do you mean? Like, so the price is changing because of what? Because of demand or supply? What's changing the price right
now? Either, like for example, I don't know. There's a shortage.
Okay, supply. So supply has reduced. Yeah. Okay.
For example, there's a shortage. Like people know there's going to be a shortage. Like there's a news article, and so like the price of material will have to get higher because people expect.
So supply goes down. That means prices go up. Price goes up. Demand goes down. Right. Demand goes down, right?
Or it stays the same. Sorry. Like demand stays the same, but people expect the price will go up because there is a shortage. So the price doesn't increase instantaneously. Like there has, I don't know if you see what I mean. Like there has to be a force. You can quantify how much the price increases, and so.
Sorry.
What I want.
Okay. Wait, so how is this lead to this whole resonance situation? Like,
so I'm more of an engineering guy, but like in engineering, there are this process where I'm like, there is like you want a certain value of speed of your car, for example, and so the system.
In this example that you just mentioned, okay?
Okay.
How is it? So for this to happen in your system, the supply going down eventually has to lead to something for the supply to continue going down even more because of the effect it had on price. I can't see this happening in the example.
What I'm saying is like multiple goods. So, like before the shortage, let's say that everything is at equilibrium, and once the shortage happened. Now prices are no longer at equilibrium, and so the price of the let's say it's lithium. I don't know. The price of lithium will have to go up.
This is getting too technical for people. Yeah, like okay.
I mean, if the price goes up, it will impact other products, and the price will vary too. And what I'm trying to go at is like the price will try to adjust, but since when it starts adjusting, the other prices will adjust too. And so it may be that the price like tries to follow the trend, but the trend like is starting to decorrelate from the price. And at the end, the price is kind of random because it's either too slow for the trend or like
okay, but it's not random. It's like I don't want to
chaotic. It's chaotic.
It's chaotic, but it's the best model that we have for pricing. Like there is no better model.
Yeah, but it may be like if you make it so that some prices do not fluctuate as much, like you can. That's what I was saying.
Okay.
Like some goods, you limit the fluctuation in value, so the other goods can adjust based on the price of those goods that are fixated. Like for example, oil or something like that.
Yeah. No, I think I see what your point is, and in those cases it makes sense for the. I see some government intervention when something is going in some direction, and it's like the government gets involved, and I don't know, increases a trade in something or caps something, and it just stops something from going out to. Yeah, I can see that. That's not anti-capitalism. That's some regulation. No, but you keep acting like you keep saying I give too much credit to capitalism, but I say I believe in regulated capitalism. So I can see some scenarios where the government comes in and just puts a stop to something, and it might be influential, but that's not anti-capitalism.
Yeah, but like
because I think what if I am against government coming in and doing anything, there would be laws of fair capitalism. I'm not for laws of fair capitalism.
Yeah, but like I have trouble sometimes pinpointing your position on the issue. So like I know you said in the past that you're for regulation for what the market cannot see. So like I don't know, the environment and everything. But and I feel like when you talk, I don't agree with you. But since your position isn't always clear, I kind of have to guess where you're at because I think I don't agree with you, but I don't really know on what I don't agree. But the way you talk sometimes makes me feel I won't agree with you. Okay. That I can't be exactly sure. So that's just why I wanted
I think sometimes the market is blind to to something that the rest of us could see that is moving to a destructive direction, right? And the government could step in and put a stop to it. There are cases where it makes sense for the government to come in. And this might be what you're describing could be one of those instances.
Yeah. Okay, I will leave people with the economics because they're bored.
Okay. All right. That's fine. We could because a lot of people are like, what the hell these guys are talking about? Maybe we could have a private discussion about it. Yeah.
Maybe get a room.
Yes. Okay. Sure. All right.
Well, okay. I think we should wrap this up. Isn't anyone else? Friendly Muslim, thank you very much for joining in. And
I also want to promote my new channel called The Friend Zone.
Yes.
Called the what?
The Friend. I've got a link. It's called Friendly Muslim and The Friend Zone. So you go to Friendly Muslim, and then there's a link for The Friend Zone also. I'll put it in the private chat.
So he is a master of all the girls that he meet. He ends up putting them in friend zone. He's always friend
all
zone.
The boys. I
don't discriminate. Everybody gets put in the friend zone.
All right, aren't you a little halal boy?
All right. I'm gonna put I put the link to his channel right in the live chat.
Yeah, guys, but I want you to see the banner. It's like let's share the screen, show the banner.
Yeah, I'm doing that. Give me a sec.
I changed it because Armin told me. He said, "Look, I want you to do so." I took his advice, so I want people to know that I took his advice. And
there we go.
There, and then see in the link for the friend zone.
Oh, okay.
See up there, there you go, on the top right. See there?
There we go.
There you go. So that's for all our atheist friends and brothers and sisters, people that may not like Islam. Come over, arrange a conversation at the friend zone. I've already had Harris. If you can go to the friend zone.
I'm happy to be I'm happy to be friend zoned by you.
But I've done actually quite a few interviews now. So I've had.
I noticed. Yeah, I was looking at it. Yeah, you've spoken to quite a few people. Okay, guys, go check out Friendly Muslim. I actually don't. I wouldn't mind, because I think we all end up creating our little echo chambers. I think it's good to keep an eye on and see what your opponents are saying. Obviously, in a friendly manner, not to say the least. But even if they were not, even when they're not so friendly, even then, I think it's important to keep an eye on them and see, what new arguments they're coming up with. Look at this one. The Prophet said, "The most beloved to me is the one."
That was from before. That's why I want to send people to the friend zone. This is our propaganda channel. This is Harry. Stop. Don't.
The most beloved to me is the one who has the best character. Does marrying a 9-year-old constitute as a good character?
Wait, all right. I have actually my own questions about the fact that he's using Hadith Bukhari. Okay,
that was from before. Okay. That was on the Friendly Muslim. That was on Friendly Muslim. It's not friend. That's why I want to send people to the friend zone.
Okay,
so it's all atheists. You don't have to deal with my Taoism.
But I want to deal with your Muslim beliefs. Why are you so ashamed of being a Muslim? Stop being ashamed of being a Muslim.
No, I think he thinks. No, he's not ashamed. I think he thinks that this is probably he's actually so polite that he actually doesn't want to propagate to atheists. That's that's what he's.
Please click on.
He doesn't want to propagate.
But that's that. But okay, but. Okay,
but it's another channel.
Let me give you a tip. Okay. A lot of us atheists prefer to listen to you when you're doing this Islamic stuff.
Okay.
But you like the. I want to talk about atheism. I want to talk about different views. I've got someone from the LGBT community.
Okay, but we get attracted. Okay, you're trying to. But I'm just telling you that you're trying to hide the Islamic parts of it so that we feel we're more welcome. Okay, but a lot of us feel more welcome when you actually put the Muslim stuff right in front of the door. Like that's what grabs our attention.
But okay. Well, I mean, look, it's fine. You can. Yeah, I didn't want to propagate.
But the only downside. Yeah, but I think from Friendly Muslims' point of view, the only downside is like, okay, if he puts up something like that for that hadith, obviously, I'm not hurt by that when we see. I mean, I guess we're all used to seeing Islamic propaganda material all our lives, so we're not offended by it. That if someone is preaching his religion, we would never are. I don't know of anyone who is actually offended by it. Although what does happen, there is a voice that comes inside of us that actually says, should I put a counter question to that? Now, that position actually upsets Muslims. For example, like as I said, like you said, I read it as a like with a smile on my face. Genuinely, I was smiling. But then I thought, okay, now just let me say something cheeky and bring up Prophet Muhammad's 9-year-old wife or something. So that, or instantly it goes downhill, because for Muslims it's sacred. For us, it's not sacred or offensive to read a hadith. I mean, that's what most of us actually do that for a living now. So yeah, I
some of the best hadith readers in the game constantly.
my folder.
I had a question. You okay? Not now, but when you were citing Hadith Bukhari, okay. Because when we cite Hadith Bukhari that you don't like, you're like, I don't agree with that hadith. I don't like that hadith. That's not true, okay?
I don't say. I do not say like the way you say it with my eyes closed and all.
Okay. I know that was like I'm like, this is authentic hadith. Like that was no good. I was like, I don't like that. No, put that away. That's not real hadith, okay? And then when you have hadith that is like, oh, just be good people, be nice to poor people, take care of like, I don't know. Orphans.
Like, yeah, that's real.
That's real. That's good hadith.
That's good hadith.
Pretty good hadith. I agree with that hadith. That's like Muhammad must have said that. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm wondering if your method in deciding which hadith is right and which hadith is wrong is based on your moral standards. Like is like the Friendly Muslim's moral standards, and what he likes is how he decides which hadith is real and which hadith is not real.
Yeah.
Okay. You do have a point, but. I have normally investigated the hadiths that you guys will pull up, the worst of the worst of the Christian apologists.
Yeah, that's my point. You only That exactly my point. Okay, so you investigated the hadith that you didn't like. Okay, did you investigate the hadith that you like before posting it as like true about Muhammad said this? Like, did you investigate them?
That one,
No.
I 100% no. I have to be honest.
Okay.
I haven't. I
So,
saw the
so
quote.
why are you
I
so
thought it was
willing
nice.
to accept a hadith that is nice as authentically Muhammad's words, but you do research when you hear a hadith that you don't like? Shouldn't you be doing the research like Muhammad might have not said this? The good, the nice ones he might have like you didn't do it. Why didn't you do the research on that?
I mean, I will take that on board as a learning curve, and I will follow up with that. I'm not ashamed to say that. Yeah, you've got a point. I will look into it more. So I'm not afraid to say that. No,
Okay,
on
to
that
be
good-
fair, to be fair to friendly Muslim, I've never seen. I've seen few people. Okay, not just Muslims, people in general that takes criticism as well as friendly Muslim. Okay, so there's a huge credit to him. Okay, I'm not just comparing you to Muslims. Okay, I'm comparing you to people as a whole.
Everyone. Yeah.
Yes, this is like you're like way up there. Like few people are that willing to just accept.
You guys make good
Yeah.
points. You know, I mean, even Harris sometimes makes some very poignant points. That
Even
I,
Harris.
Even Harris.
No. Actually, Harris, to be fair, I mean, I've got my number one, number two ex-Muslims on the planet here with me, so I'm feeling quite happy about it.
Who's number two?
Okay, when I first spoke to Armin, he said, "Who's your number one?" And I said, "Harris is my number one." Obviously, like you know, and then
Still?
Allah,
I've been dethroned. I've been dethroned.
No, hang on, wait. Okay, I'll tell you what. I'm gonna give you an analogy and why I'm tired, basically. So when you were going through Hadith,
I've got your answer.
No,
You don't have to stop. You don't have to butter me up.
Wait. Hold on. Right. So when Armin, you were going through the Hadith, and Armin was on your channel, and he said, "No, well, you know, the Muslims will say, look, this isn't correct." It was about that Jewish person, the blind one, and da. Right? And I was like, "All right, Armin, yo, bro, he's got number one. Okay, fine. He's got another point. He's going, yo, this Hadith, you know." But then Harris came back with, "Yeah, but if you look at this clip, these are the people that believe that the blasphemy should be killed, basically." So then Harris had a point also. So I was like, oh, I'm stuck now. They both had very valid points. So I couldn't move out of position. And I had Armin, and you were both kind of there. So that's where I'm at. That's my honest.
So we're both number one, and the number two position is vacant. So someone, you know, but if one position is tied.
On a good week, Armin might have a bad week. He goes down to number two. You might have a bad week. You go down to number two. So you know, I'm doing it on a play-by-play basis.
Okay.
I think that's
good. I like how two ex-Muslims are fighting for being now Muslims. This has never happened. This is like we're truly making history here. Like,
we are breaking the internet, people. We are breaking the internet right now. Subscribe to Harris Sultan and Armin Navabi. Boom. I'm friendly Muslim and the friend zone.
Yeah.
Right.
But on a serious note, I don't think like this. Like we have had this before. Like have like two very aggressively anti-Islam ex-Muslims being, you know, this friendly and joking around with like a Muslim who also wants to spread Islam. Like I think like this is beautiful. I mean, we
absolutely agree with some things that are detrimental in society. And like, so for example, Harris will bring up stories, and I'm not going to argue with him, when there's women being abducted in Pakistan, in the Sindh province. I stand by him. If I had that conversation 6 months later, I've had a conversation with other Muslims about that also. You know, there are very, very valid things that I've learned from Harris, you know, and from yourself also.
Me too.
So, you know,
I have learned a lot from Harris. I've learned from you too, friend of Muslim.
Yeah. All right. So next time we'll that other. I think I'll bring a couple of topics to the equation that we can debate. So I think you'll get it all nice and spicy.
Good.
All right. Let's wrap this up. Let's not go over 3 hours.
Okay. Let's go. We have to go.
Thank you.
All right, guys. Thank you, guys.
Everyone who joined us.
Thank you, Idris. Idris, if you want to talk economics, message me on Patreon. All right.
Bye. Gotta end it. Bye.